cool down a little bit by kickoff, but still going to be pretty warm. So we'll see what happens here this afternoon as Lumberjacks playing a JV squad here in Lakeland, and should be a pretty good game, actually. We will go ahead, step away. We'll take a quick break, hear a word from some of our sponsors, and we'll come back with our coaches interview on the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union countdown to kickoff.
It's not just saving. It's preparing your kids for college, owning your tomorrow, and saying yes to that home, trip, or the next chapter. At P1FCU, we believe saving should work as hard as you do because every dollar you set aside is a step toward freedom. We're not just your credit union, we're your future's biggest fan. Explore better banking with P1FCU. Learn more at p1fcu.org. Insured by NCUA.
Kenny and the crew at 10th Street Superstop invite you into the biggest convenience store in town. 10th Street Superstop is your one-stop shop for gas, propane, snacks, and ice-cold drinks. Stop in for breakfast or lunch, breakfast burritos and pizza to paninis and fajita burritos. 10th Street Superstop has something for everyone. Whether you're headed to a Lumberjack game or out into the woods, 10th Street Superstop is the place to stop for anything you may need. 10th Street Superstop on North 10th Street in St. Mary. When you think of PotlatchDeltic, you might think logs or lumber. When I think about PotlatchDeltic, I think of family, community, compassion. You see, PotlatchDeltic is more than some company in St. Mary's. PotlatchDeltic is a community supporter in more ways than one. Whether it's donating to a fundraiser or nonprofit group, or giving a high schooler a summer job that could very well turn into a career, PotlatchDeltic is there for our community. We, for one, want to thank PotlatchDeltic for what they do and hope that you will also. PotlatchDeltic, proud supporters of, well, St. Mary's.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Idaho. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the IHSAA and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
Well, well, well. Are you in need of a reputable, experienced, and knowledgeable well drilling and pump company? Look no further than Interstate Drilling and Pump. Interstate Drilling and Pump drills new wells, deepens existing wells, installs and repairs pumps, and does well testing both for water quality and gallons per minute. Interstate Drilling and Pump has 24-plus years of experience and serves from Moscow to Rathdrum and the Silver Valley. Well, what are you waiting for? Get on their schedule today. That's Interstate Drilling and Pump, 208-245-5101. 208-245-5101, Interstate Drilling and Pump.
Tax time is here again. I know. It's not your favorite. But at H&R Block, tax time is our favorite time of year. It's when our tax pros get to do what they love the most, help people. By getting to know you, they can make sure your return gets done right. It's not just about numbers, boxes, and forms. It's about personal care. So you get every credit and deduction you deserve. And with an average of 10 years experience, our tax pros get your taxes done right. Just one of the many ways Block has your back.
This is the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union countdown to kickoff. We are live in Lakeland at Lakeland High School. Corbett Field as your Lumberjacks get set to do battle with the Lakeland Hawks JV squad here on opening night for Lumberjack football. Just a quick schedule update before we get to our interview with head coach Hayden Humphrey. The boys will be on the road next Saturday. They're going to be making a long trip over to Missoula, Montana to play Salmon High School. So we will be headed over there. The game is scheduled for a 1 o'clock Montana time kickoff. So that'll be noon in St. Mary. So just kind of a heads up there on that upcoming schedule. I think after that, I was going to print off the schedule and bring it with me, but I think after that, St. Mary's, they're either travel to Moscow. I'm pretty sure the first 3 games are on the road. So I think they travel to Moscow, and then they have their first home game against Bonners Ferry. I will double check, see if I can't pull that information up and double check that. But for right now, let's go ahead and hear from head coach Hayden Humphrey.
And it is that time of the year. It's our first coach's interview for the 2025-26 Lumberjack football season.
and they got a few changes this year at the I don't know, I was going to say NFL, but the Lumberjack program. New coaching staff, but the head coach is a familiar face that pretty much everybody knows. We've got Hayden Humphrey. Glad to be talking to you.
Yeah, no, glad to be here. Glad to, fill in these shoes and help out how I can.
So my first question, and I guess not really a question, a lot of people in the St. Mary's community obviously know who you are. There's probably a lot of people that maybe don't, but I mean, you never know. So kind of maybe introduce yourself to Lumberjack fans and kind of a little background of yourself.
Yeah. So I born and raised St. Mary's, lived here my whole life. Graduated from St. Mary's in 2016. Played under Craig Teff. Played with a lot of great coaches, a lot of great athletes. As we've talked about, Tim, 1 year removed from that state championship team. But just happy to be back, giving back to the program that's given so much to me. I'm just really looking forward to this ride and seeing how it goes.
You did a little college ball yourself?
Yeah, I redshirted at the University of Montana Western. When I signed to play there, the head coach that signed me left about a week after I signed. Kind of stung. He was a really big time into small school kids, and the new coach's philosophy coming in was he didn't want small school kids. He wanted big school kids. So there was a lot of turnover in the program as far as freshmen kind of being shown the door. Just a big culture change was happening when I got there and wasn't exactly what I signed up for at that time. So I decided, was ready to come back home.
All right. Well, like we said, it's a new season. You got a whole new coaching staff. I think you only really returned one coach, two coaches. Oh yeah, Cooper was helped out last year, and Barda. Obviously, some new philosophies, new teams. Can you kind of give us a little bit of an idea of what St. Mary's is, or what your goal, I guess, offensively and defensively?
I mean, we're hoping offensively that we're going to, lean on our skill positions on the outside. We're going to be able to throw the ball a little more. But we have a great offensive line that's worked really hard this offseason to change to a new blocking scheme. They kind of raised their eyes at me when I said we were changing our blocking scheme, and well, they've adapted to it. They've done good learning it. We've got, I call them our three-headed monster in the backfield between Caden, Aiden, and Zach Stoughton. Kind of three guys that complement each other very nicely. We've got a speed guy with Caden. We've got a good receiver and cut back with Aiden, and then Zach Stoughton's just a bowling. But as far as outside positions go, we've got good receivers. We've got a smart quarterback. So we're hoping we can open things up offensively into a more of a spread look and spread the ball around and make defenses choose who they're going to stop.
Yeah. How about defensively?
Defensively, we're going to be aggressive. Kind of going back to more of that 3-5 that you've seen with Teff when we were playing. Going to have a lot of aggression. There's some exotic looks coming from it that I'm excited to see how they pan out. I mean, anytime you send pressure, you're always running the risk of the live by the sword, die by the sword. But, we've got athletes all over the field there, and they're chomping at the bit and eager, and they want to fly. So we'll let them run.
All right. So I know a goal is always to be one of those state championship contenders at the end of the season. And a lot of people, I mean, all around the state looked at St. Mary's this year from the past couple of years. Yeah. They kind of got you guys on the bottom parts of the polls and stuff early in the year.
They got us where we like to be, under the radar.
But what would your goals, aside from, maybe having a really great first season, what are some of your goals that would be it's hard to say. I don't want to say realistic because that sounds bad.
Right.
Say realistic goals.
Right.
Anything's realistic. I mean, as long as the kids put their work to it. But what are your, I guess, other goals besides that for your first season?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Tim, first goal is always state championship. I mean, that's always the goal. You punch your ticket to the playoffs. Football in November, anything can happen. I mean, you never know. So, I mean, that's obviously first goal. We always start there. My goal for this season, record-wise, I think 500 is a great start. It'd be an awesome first season. New coaching staff all across the board, we're going to take punches. We're going to have to roll with the punches and, deal with some adjustments. We're going to get up against some coaches that have done this for 10, 20 years that, we're going to have to learn on the fly and go with it. But this team, they have a lot of talent. I think that they could make a deep push, and I hope that we're in that position that we can. My biggest thing as a coach for first season goal really isn't necessarily record-wise. It's just getting the excitement back in there. We've had a great turnout. We're looking at close to 60 kids, so we're really, really happy about that. I told Dakota and team that one of the first things that I wanted to do is get to the point where I had to tell them that I needed more helmets because I ran out and I have more kids than I have helmets. I want to just see numbers continue to improve. I want to see, the bond between these kids build, that family aspect. And other than that, I think if you can start accomplishing that and get the buy-in and the family aspect, I think the wins come with that.
Yeah, exactly. I think a big part is getting the kids to believe in the program.
Absolutely.
Yep. And that's the first step is earning their trust.
Absolutely.
More or less as a coach.
Absolutely.
We'll take a quick break and we'll come back and talk more with the head coach, Hayden Humphrey. For some reason, I had a mental block there.
Janelle Martin Holmes, your Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's, is a proud Lumberjack supporter because they're her hometown team. When it comes to insurance, that's also one reason so many people in St. Mary's choose Farm Bureau insurance. They have a complete line of insurance products, including auto, home, commercial, and life. Plus, they have great customer service and competitive rates. And they're also a local company with local agents right here in St. Mary's. So let's hear it for our hometown team. Contact Janelle Martin Holmes, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's at 105 North 8th Street, St. Mary's.
Like most backseat drivers, I'm all about safety. That pothole.
Got it.
So Les Schwab Tires makes my job easy. With services like brakes, steering, and alignment. Those cheap tire centers just throw on tires. That's it. Now, I'm not telling people how to do their job. Linker. I'm just glad Les Schwab takes safety as seriously as me.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab Tires. Doing the right thing since 1952.
It's in Park, right?
Archie's IGA is not only a proud supporter of Lumberjack sports, but a proud supporter of the St. Mary's community and shopping locally. When you shop local, you help businesses support other local businesses, as well as helping your local businesses to provide jobs. Did you know that local business taxes help maintain communities and counties by fixing roads and maintaining recreational facilities? Local business owners invest in the community and have a vested interest in the future of our community. So won't you help Archie's IGA by supporting your local businesses and shop locally? Oh yeah, and let's not forget those Lumberjacks.
If you want the best, you hire the best. Top Grade Roofing and Construction has over 25 years of experience and is licensed and insured. Top Grade Roofing and Construction can and will build just about anything. Need a deck? They can do it. Need siding? Yep. How about a fence? Of course. Top Grade Roofing and Construction might even build you a chicken coop if you ask. That's Top Grade Roofing and Construction. Call Vince for a free consultation at 208-269-3111. That's 208-269-3111. Top Grade Roofing and Construction. Hughes Ace Hardware wants to invite you to come in and take a look. Hughes isn't just about hardware. Whether you need dish soap and sponges to clean up after your husband's guys' night or storage solutions for your wife's shopping addiction, you can find it at Hughes. Come see the difference. Everything you need from a blow dryer to replace the one your toddler drops in the toilet to a bathroom scale to help your hubby stay on his fitness goals. Hughes Ace Hardware is the place to get the products you need and the help you want all the time, every time. Hugh and Margie Gannon of St. Mary's are proud to support the Lumberjacks and this Lumberjack Sports broadcast. The Gannons want to wish the Lumberjacks the best of luck this sports season and want you to know that they are proud of you. The Gannons say, "Go Lumberjacks!"
You always hear on the radio, cross the bridge to savings, but it's true. St. Mary's Harvest Foods has what you need when you need it. And if you don't see it, then just ask one of the friendly staff and they will gladly help you find what you need. From meat, super fresh produce, and dairy, St. Mary's Harvest Foods will save you big on the things you need the most. No time to cook tonight? Then check out the hot deli for something quick for dinner. St. Mary's Harvest Foods, where you truly can cross the bridge to savings.
And we're back. We're talking with head coach Hayden Humphrey for St. Mary's Lumberjack football. First game of the season. It's against Lakeland JV. I can't remember that we've ever played Lakeland JV for football, let alone many other sports, honestly. Well, we do have played them in soccer for girls. But we talked about it a little bit before we even started the interview, that max prep rankings and stuff. We do have a question about that later, so I guess we don't need to get into that. But it's really kind of a good, like a preseason game almost for you.
Yeah, as far as I can tell, I don't know. I honestly don't know if it goes into a max prep rating or not. I mean, it is counted as a true game, so regardless, it goes against our record. As far as a max prep rating go, I don't know what it really does for that. As far as I'm concerned with the whole max prep rating thing, though, is the easiest way to take care of that is in the district.
Yeah.
You win your district, you don't need to worry about it anymore. Let the cards fall how they do. And I've been telling that to the boys. We don't need to worry about how our max preps are looking. Let's just take care of what we can take care of, handle the schedule that's in front of us, and the rest will fall into place. It'll be an exciting game. I mean, neither of us have any information on each other, really. I mean, you don't really know with being a school that's 2 classifications bigger than us. Their JV should be at our tier. They also could be talent-wise in deeper than we are. We have no idea until we suit up and we play. So, and they have no idea about us. They have really nothing to go off of us. So it'll be exciting. We're excited to see how, we line up in that first game. There's always going to be things to adjust on the fly, and the first game jitters and nerves and all of that. So we're excited to get that all smoothed out and start rolling.
Yeah, and I guess getting this early to start, you guys get an extra game this year. One bye week still, and
one bye week. You can either do the jamboree this week, or you can do an extra game. And up here, the jamborees have kind of died off.
Yeah.
Everybody's just decided we're going to play competitively. Let's just play a game. So a lot of schools up here, we used to go to the Lakeland Jamboree when I was in high school. A lot of that's all gone and done with, and everybody's just picking up games. So, which I like to see. I want to play football. We're going to hit. Let's make it count.
So first game of the season, you guys have been working hard. You guys had your kind of your own camp and stuff this year.
Yep.
What do you want to see out of these guys tonight?
I just want to see some resiliency. I mean, like I said, we're going to have some things that are not going to go our way. I mean, we're first game of the season. You got things that you always need to fix. Adjusting on the fly. Again, we're kind of going with the unknown. So just being resilient. I want to see them just compete and keep that camaraderie that they've had all off season, and keeping each other's heads up and fighting. If things go our way, fantastic. Let's do it with class and respect, and I don't want to say not be surprised to be there, but let's act like we've been there before and handle ourselves in a good manner. If things aren't going our way, same thing. Let's keep competing, and let's put it behind us and move forward and keep building.
Just use it to learn from.
1 week at a time.
All right. Well, looking forward to the season, Coach. That's all the questions I think we've got this week, but good luck tonight, and let's get the season hopefully started off with a W.
Hopefully.
That's been Hayden Humphrey, head coach for Lumberjack football. We'll take another quick break and come back with more after this.
Jack Fuel Trucking knows that there are few things as important as wise use of our natural resources. And by utilizing the chips in the manufacturing of lumber, that is exactly what is accomplished. If you look beyond the wood chips, you see an entire community of schools, churches, and businesses, and most importantly, people. Jack Fuel Trucking believes in responsible harvesting of our natural resources. After all, when you take a close look, those aren't just chips. They're an entire community. Jack Fuel Trucking.
Sometimes accidents happen. You never thought it would happen to you, but it did. Where can you turn for that friendly hand of support? Jack's Pharmacy is your good neighbor pharmacy in St. Mary's, where you'll find personalized care. Whether you need crutches, supports, wheelchairs, or even a hospital bed, Jack's is here for you. We service both Medicare and Medicaid. If you need durable medical equipment, come to Jack's, your good neighbor pharmacy, where you'll receive personalized service and attention.
Mitchell Excavation in Fernwood is a proud supporter of Lumberjack Sports. For all of your road building, site preparation needs, call Mitchell Excavation, 208-245-1160. Whether ditch digging for plumbing and electrical or home site preparation, Mitchell Excavation is the place to call. That's Mitchell Excavation in Fernwood, 208-245-1160. Mitchell Excavation says, go Lumberjack!
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Idaho. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
Afraid to touch that breaker box? Need some rewiring done? Call the professionals at M&S Electric. With nearly 40 years experience, there's no job too big or too small. From industrial and commercial to residential and service work, M&S Electric isn't afraid. Serving Benawah, Shoshone, Kootenai, and Latah counties, M&S Electric has you covered. Overhead work? M&S can do that too with their bucket truck. M&S Electric, 408 Main Avenue, St. Mary's. Give them a call, 208-245-3890. No job too big, no job too small. We do them all. M&S Electric. For all of your area high school sports schedules, updates, and recaps, including Lakeside, Kootenai, and of course, St. Mary's High School, pick up your copy of the St. Mary's Gazette Record every Wednesday. Not only will they have game recaps and highlights for area high school sports action, but local news and information. St. Mary's Gazette Record, pick up a copy today.
Tim Parrish here at Lakeland High School, home of the Lakeland Hawks. We are playing some football on Corbett Field here in the early or late parts of August. The earliest game that I can think of for St. Mary's. They are getting a 0-week game in. A couple of other opponents are as well. I believe Kellogg plays tonight, as does Priest River plays tomorrow, I'm pretty sure. So got some games going on. And I did go and find that schedule for the Lumberjacks. So let's go ahead and give you that football schedule real quick. Of course, tonight with Lumberjacks here at Lakeland to take on the Lakeland JV Hawks. Next week in Missoula, Big Sky High School at where they will take on Salmon. And that game is scheduled for a 1 o'clock kickoff, with 12 o'clock being in St. Mary's time. Then the Lumberjacks will be at home in week 3. They will be taking on the Bonners Ferry Badgers at Lumberjack Field on September the 5th. On September the 12th, Lumberjacks get to host the Kellogg Wildcats in a league matchup. Following that week, St. Mary's will go on the road to Moscow on September the 19th, and then they will welcome in the Timberlake Tigers on the 26th. On the 10th of October, they will face off against Grangeville in St. Mary's. Then they will be on the road to Priest River on October the 17th, and they will wrap up the regular season October the 24th against the Orofino Maniacs in Orofino. So a pretty good spread of home and away games this year, kind of mixed in there pretty decently, and looking to be an exciting season. Really quickly, let's take a quick look at how things shook out last year for the Central Idaho League for 3A. Grangeville finished on top with a 4-0 league record, 6-4 overall. Priest River was in the number 2 slot with a 3-1 league record, 6-3 overall. Kellogg was 2-2 in league, 3-6 overall in that third spot. St. Mary's went 1-3 in league, 1-7 overall in that number 4 slot. And the Orofino Maniacs were 0-4 in league, 1-7 overall. Who's playing who tonight? Salmon, or let's see, Moscow. Grangeville is at Moscow tonight. Priest River is hosting Salmon. Orofino is hosting Kellogg. And that is the schedule for today. We'll take another quick break. We'll come back and look at the early season polls and power rankings.
The name says it all. Taco Bout It. What is it, you may ask? It's the best taco truck in town. Might even be the only taco truck in town. If you like tacos, and who doesn't, then you need to stop by Taco Bout It, located at 128 South Highway 3 in St. Mary's, across the street from Triple X Feeds. Taco Bout It has too many tacos to list, so you will just have to try them all. Call in your order 208-582-8533, or just stop by. Taco Bout It, located across the street from Triple X Feeds in St. Mary's.
When you need that morning pick-me-up before work or school, there's one place that comes to mind. It's a place that loves our community, the St. Mary's Lumberjacks, and all the local businesses and people in our village. Shift and Grind in St. Mary's is all about the community. Whether it's helping raise money for the Booster Club or for a family in need, the Shift and Grind family are always ready to help. So be sure to stop by Shift and Grind for your caffeinated needs. Located at 132 First Street in St. Mary's, Shift and Grind says, go Lumberjack!
If you know which side of a saw cuts wood, and if you can hammer a nail, you can do it yourself. Carpentry, construction, finishing, or framing, around here, you've got it made. You've got 10th Street Lumber. At 10th Street Lumber, we have the answers to your building and repair project questions. Every day, 10th Street Lumber helps homeowners get quality results. For lumber, blocks, power tools, fixtures, everything you need for a professional job. Don't pick up a nail until you shop 10th Street Lumber. 10th Street Lumber on the corner of 10th and Railroad Avenue in St. Mary's.
Wondering how to manage your retirement nest egg? How big should it be when you retire? Contact Jenny Oaks at Gateway Financial Partners to get the answers to these and all your other financial questions. The securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC. With over 30 years of financial planning, give Jenny Oaks a call at Gateway Financial Partners today. The guidance is free. The experience is priceless. Call 245-5255.
Fall is coming, and of course, cold weather. Now's the time to stock up on a few things. Triple X Feeds has magnetic wood pellets in stock, and it's never too early to be ready for the cold weather. Triple X Feeds also has alfalfa in stock as well as straw. And if you have some four-legged woodland friends that look a little hungry, Triple X Feeds can keep you loaded up on deer feed and deer blocks. Don't wait until the last minute. Stop by Triple X Feeds in St. Mary's today.
It's the kid in grade school who paints their face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
What makes high school sports here in Idaho so special? They do. You do.
We all do.
This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
St. Joe Oil isn't just a fuel delivery company. They provide a much larger service than most people realize. St. Joe Oil can sell you a brand new Toyo oil stove and install it for you, and also keep your oil tank full. Not only that, St. Joe Oil plays a very critical role in our local industries. From logging to farming, St. Joe Oil keeps the fuel tanks full. From heating oil to off-road diesel and everything in between, call St. Joe Oil, 208-245-2123. That's 208-245-2123. St. Joe Oil.
St. Mary's Realty is a St. Mary's icon. Why? Because they are a team. They work for you. And they've been a team for many years. Whether you are buying your first home, looking for a recreational cabin, or selling your current home, St. Mary's Realty puts their team on it for you. So stop in or give them a call today at 245-4502 and let their team be your team. That's St. Mary's Realty at 726 Main Avenue, St. Mary's.
Tim Parrish back here at Lakeland High School, Corbett Field, home of the Lakeland Hawks. Your Lumberjacks out warming up, getting ready to do battle with Lakeland JV. JV for Lakeland is down on the west side of the field doing their warm-ups. So first game of the season, both teams probably have a few jitters going on, but it should be a good night for some football. Polls and power rankings. Let's take a quick look. These are early season, of course. There's been no games played. But in the power rankings for Idaho sports, they've got Aberdeen sitting at number 1, Declo, Firth, Grangeville, and Kellogg, the 1 through 5, or the top 5 in the Idaho sports power rankings. The coaches poll for 3A Central Idaho League, they actually picked Priest River to be the top of the conference. Grangeville in second, St. Mary's in third, Kellogg in fourth, and Orofino in last. And the media polls, well, the media polls have no 3A, no Central Idaho League team in the top 5. They have Westside, Aberdeen, Declo, Ryrie, and Nampa Christian in your top 5. Now we'll go over to idahosports.com real quick. We'll take a look at their conference preview and give you a little bit of information out of there. First off, new head coach this year, Hayden Humphrey, St. Mary's alumni. He has 7 years of coaching wrestling at St. Mary's High School, 1 year of middle school head coach football, 1 year of assistant high school football coach. His assistant coaches for this season, you've got Cooper Daniel, Bryant Appel, Dennis Humphrey, Josh Richmond, Donnie Masterson, Alex Barta, and it also says Mark Reynolds. We've already went through that. The records from last year, St. Mary's, of course, won a state title in 2016, going undefeated. Some returning players that look to do big things for the Lumberjacks here. These are all seniors. You got Jack Barta, who's the quarterback, Brock Barta, who's a wide receiver and a defensive back. You got Colin DeGravio, who's a tight end and a linebacker. Kyle Smith, who's an offensive tackle and a defensive end. Nathan George, he's a sophomore cornerback for the Lumberjacks. Russell Brousseau, a senior on the offensive line and defensive end. Aiden Yearout, who's a senior, running back and linebacker. And Caden Morris, a senior, running back and linebacker for St. Mary's. Some returning players with honors from last year. Russell Brousseau, he was first team All-League for offensive line. Cody Mitchell was first team defensive line, first team All-League. Jack Barta was second team All-League for quarterback. Isaiah Gustav was second team for All-League for wide receiver. And Kyle Smith was second team All-League for offensive line. And one of the players that's incoming that they expect to make a impact is Riley Porter. He is a senior. He is offensive tackle and defensive end for St. Mary's. Going through some of this conference preview, talked about the Grangeville Bulldogs. They lost a lot of their offensive talent last year. They graduated their quarterback, their running back, their receiver, their tight end. They lost a lot of their productive guys on that offensive side that they've got to replace. Defensively, they say that they didn't lose a lot of their guys. They brought back a lot of their defense. So that is probably what they're going to hang their hat on early in the season to try to at least take some of the pressure off of their offense. The Priest River Spartans last year, they had a really solid season, and they only really have to replace a couple of guys. One of them is running back Sawyer Stout. He set a new school record last year with 1,146 rushing yards, 24 touchdowns. So he's going to be a tough one for them to replace on their roster. But they're going to have a trio of running backs this year. Nate Fiegert and Colton Caprinko and sophomore Leighton Goings that they're going to look to, not unlike the Lumberjacks. As Coach Humphrey said, the three-headed monster of Aiden Yearout, Caden Morris, and Zach Soten. So St. Mary's also has a pretty deep running back lineup. Their defense, once again, though, they feel is going to be one of their strengths this year as well for Priest River. The Wildcats, they say that they have one of the top quarterback wide receiver combos in the Central Idaho League, as their quarterback from last year was just a sophomore. He's a junior this year, Porter Lewis. He threw for almost 2,000 yards and 19 touchdowns last year. Then he has his brother, Andrew Lewis, who led the team in rushing with 431 yards. And so they got a good little group of guys there. However, according to this, they may be without their standout wide receiver, Radley McDonald. He had injured his knee in 7-on-7 competition. So they're going to be looking for somebody to take his spot. The Lumberjacks, of course, we kind of gone over them a little bit. New head coach, Hayden Humphrey. And St. Mary's returns a whole lot of guys. We talked about that up above, so I'm not going to go back through all of them. it's just looking. St. Mary's has the potential to be a very good team this year. And like I also said in the interview, right now they're looking at about third place in the polls. And St. Mary's likes to kind of be flying under the radar for this year. Orofino, they've got a new coach as well, and they're hoping that they can get more people turned out this season. It doesn't really say if they've got a lot, but they brought in Seth Melton as their head coach. He graduated from Orofino in 2011, so he's looking to try to turn around that program, and hopefully instead of being 1-7, they'd of course like to be 7-1 this year. They could be a team too that you never know. The underdog that comes out and really shows the league that they're not somebody to be overlooked. So I think it's pretty wide open this year, just because of what all of the teams kind of lost. Some players, St. Mary's didn't, and Priest River doesn't sound like they lost a lot, but I really think it's anybody's. I think the league is probably more wide open than it's being given credit for. Anyways, we'll take another quick break. We'll come back with more of the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union countdown to kickoff after this.
Riverbend Car Wash and Laundromat, located next to Harvest Foods in St. Mary's. Open 24 hours, we have washers and dryers of all sizes to get your laundry done quickly. If you'd like to get your laundry done in less than 5 minutes, take advantage of our drop-off laundry service where we wash, dry, and fold it for you. While you do your laundry, be sure to take advantage of our touchless automatic car wash, which has that great undercarriage spray to get the grime off. Riverbend Car Wash and Laundromat can be found at riverbendbubbles.com or call 208-582-4844.
Whistle Stop Coffee and More has come a long way from the little shop on Railroad Avenue. How far? Not only did they upgrade their Railroad Avenue location, they added a second location. That second location for Whistle Stop Coffee and More is on 313 St. Joe River Road. Both locations offer tasty drinks of coffee, Red Bull, or Lotus Energy, and food options, from acai bowls to cookies and delicious bagel sandwiches. Whistle Stop Coffee and More is the perfect stop for a quick bite and a drink on your way to work or school. Whistle Stop Coffee and More in St. Mary's. Does your furry friend need a bath? Don't want to deal with the hassle and the mess from bathing your furry friend? Make an appointment with Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop today. Barks and Bubbles, located at 402 North 10th Street in St. Mary's, will have your furry friend looking and feeling like $1,000,000 in no time. And guess what? No mess at home, no scratches, and no getting soaked from head to toe. Let Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop handle the work. Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop also offers pet boarding. Call for an appointment today at 208-245-5755. That's 208-245-5755. Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop in St. Mary's.
It's not just saving. It's preparing your kids for college, owning your tomorrow, and saying yes to that home, trip, or the next chapter. At P1FCU, we believe saving should work as hard as you do, because every dollar you set aside is a step toward freedom. We're not just your credit union, we're your future's biggest fan. Explore better banking with P1FCU. Learn more at p1fcu.org. Insured by NCUA.
Kenny and the crew at 10th Street Superstop invite you into the biggest convenience store in town. 10th Street Superstop is your one-stop shop for gas, propane, snacks, and ice-cold drinks. Stop in for breakfast or lunch. Breakfast burritos and pizza to paninis and fajita burritos. 10th Street Superstop has something for everyone. Whether you're headed to a Lumberjack game or out into the woods, 10th Street Superstop is the place to stop for anything you may need. 10th Street Superstop on North 10th Street in St. Mary's. When you think of Potlatch Deltic, you might think logs or lumber. When I think about Potlatch Deltic, I think of family, community, compassion. You see, Potlatch Deltic is more than some company in St. Mary's. Potlatch Deltic is a community supporter in more ways than one. Whether it's donating to a fundraiser or nonprofit group, or giving a high schooler a summer job that could very well turn into a career, Potlatch Deltic is there for our community. We, for one, want to thank Potlatch Deltic for what they do and hope that you will also. Potlatch Deltic, proud supporters of, well, St. Mary's.
Tim Parrish here at Lakeland High School. We are about 15 minutes away until the opening kick as the sun starts to kind of settle over there. Kind of might be cooling off a little bit, but still pretty warm here in the booth and probably out there on the field. Both teams still out there warming up. I'm pretty sure they'll probably head back into the locker room here in maybe about 5 minutes for their last minute discussions, I guess you could say. And then they'll head out here and get ready for the national anthem and all that good stuff. I did talk to, I think it was Coach Humphrey, and the Lumberjacks are bringing back the starting lineup. So instead of introducing the whole team as just a team, they are going to actually have the starting lineups introduced, which is both ways are cool. I like the team way of doing it as well, but it's always nice as well to see who your guys are that are going to be starting. So that will be a change this year. Take a quick look around the county in high school sports, starting with Lakeside Knights. Lakeside volleyball gets underway on the 26th. They will be taking on Clark Fork, hosting Clark Fork, and that will be at 7 p.m. Lakeside football gets underway tonight. They are at Clark Fork. They'll be playing at 7 p.m. The Kootenai Warriors, their volleyball program, will be hosting Wallace on September the 4th at 7 p.m. Kootenai still does not have a football program, and there's about 3 or 4 kids that play on the Lumberjacks team due to that. So that's pretty cool. One of them I know for sure is is a girl player, and that is Harley. I'm trying to find her name here. She is actually on the varsity roster this year. At least maybe it's just bringing her up mostly more than anything, but she is on the varsity roster for tonight. And let me see, boy, where is Harley Dutton? So that's pretty cool to see. Maybe we'll call her name a few times tonight. She is number 78 and a sophomore. Anyways, let's see here. We're just going to jump into statistics real quick from last year. St. Mary's averaged just 22 points a game last year, but they did pretty good really in producing yardage. St. Mary's averaged about 295 yards per game. That's not a bad number, 146 yards passing and 155 yards rushing. St. Mary's struggles last year was more so in just the mental side of it, I guess you might be able to say, with making mistakes, penalties, and stuff that would really kind of hurt them when they were moving down the field. St. Mary's averaged about 8 yards per completion and 4 yards per rush. So, again, those are pretty solid numbers. Turnovers weren't a big issue last year for St. Mary's, according to the stats, if they stayed the way I left them last year. You never know sometimes, but we only had St. Mary's down as 1 lost fumble and 3 interceptions thrown. So 4 turnovers over an 8-game season is not a bad number at all. And St. Mary's third down conversions, a little low, 32%. Fourth down conversions, 30%. So again, those aren't horrible numbers, but I think you'd want to see your third down conversions a tad bit higher. Offensive leaders last year, returning at quarterback, Jack Barta, he didn't throw the ball a whole lot last year. He only had 145 attempts, completed 69 of them for 1,154 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. It sounds like St. Mary's might go to throwing the ball a little bit more this year, so he might be able to get those numbers up there pretty good. Gerard Dittman, who graduated, he was the leading rusher last year with 103 carries for 436 yards and 3 touchdowns. I'm going to look to see if St. Mary's has a very balanced backfield as far as production, or if one guy kind of shows out more than the other. But St. Mary's does have that 3-headed monster in the backfield with Year Out, Morris, and Soten. Receiving-wise, Isaiah Gustav returns this year, 17 receptions last year, almost 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. And again, he could easily double those numbers this year, but he will be missing this first game. He did not quite get enough practices in to be available for tonight's matchup. And, well, that is not the guy that's supposed to be still in my pregame. I did not delete him. He graduated a couple of years ago, so we don't need to talk about Trey Gibson. Oh, let's see. And let's go ahead and jump right into the defensive side of things. The Lumberjacks last year, here's where they struggled a tad bit too, besides just those mental mistakes. They allowed just about 40 points per game. So 39 points per game. They gave up 327 yards per game, 108 passing, 219 rushing yards per game. So they really struggled stopping the run last year. They didn't do too bad stopping the passing games. But giving up over 300 yards a game is not what a defensive coordinator wants to see. Third down conversions, again, St. Mary's couldn't get off the field on third downs last year, allowing 52% on the field on the third down conversions. Fourth down conversions, they did better, 23% only for the opposing teams, but I don't think there was too many fourth down conversions needed. St. Mary's did force 5 fumbles, and they did get 1 interception. The fumble numbers is pretty good defensively, but you want to see that secondary doing a little bit better in getting those interceptions. They did get 6 sacks on the quarterback, so they got some pretty good pressure as well. Defensive leaders last year, Julian Grimaldo, he graduated with 48 tackles last season, 2 tackles for loss, a forced fumble, and an interception. Returning is Aiden Yearout. He had 36 tackles last year. He's a senior this year. And Caden Morris, who's a senior, had 34 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, and a fumble recovery. So, again, St. Mary's brings back a large group of players. I haven't counted. Hopefully by the next broadcast I'll check that out. But St. Mary's has probably 13 seniors on the roster. Maybe. I'm just kind of estimating. We'll figure that number out fully as the season goes on, and I'll have it ready for next week's pregame. But St. Mary's is loaded pretty good with some pretty good talent. And I just, again, believe that St. Mary's might be getting overlooked slightly in those rankings. Tonight's game, St. Mary's is playing a JV squad. Some people would say that if St. Mary's loses this game, looking bad for the season because they lost to a JV team. If they win the game, it's the double-edged sword. Some people will be like, well, it's just a JV team. They should have beat them. The difference is this isn't your typical 3A, 4A. It's not a small school JV squad. Lakeland has their varsity, their JV, and a C team. So this JV squad is probably very close in skill-wise to our varsity squad. So don't take the fact that we're playing a JV squad as it being, if whichever way this game goes, as being a bad thing either way. I think it should be a pretty good matchup. I really do. And, we could have a pretty good barn burner here tonight. Who knows? We'll see what happens. It's the first game for both teams. Neither team has any film on each other. Talking to a few of the Lakeland people, they didn't even talk about St. Mary's all week. They were running scout. Their JV team was being the scout team, mimicking Bonners Ferry for their next game. So, again, neither team was really worried about the other one because there's no film that you can watch. It's just going to be come out, run your plays, and see who can punch it into the end zone a few times. Anyways, we are getting closer to kickoff. We are about 7 minutes away. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back probably with the coin toss and starting lineups. Before we get into that break, let's look at St. Mary's sports getting underway. The volleyball team, they're going to be hosting Wallace on the 26th in St. Mary's at 7 p.m. I do not have any schedules showing anything for soccer, boys or girls just yet, but we'll get that to you as soon as we have it. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a quick break. We'll be back with more here from Corbett Field in Lakeland High School as your Lumberjacks get set to take on the Lakeland Hawks JV.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Idaho. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the IHSAA and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
Well, well, well. Are you in need of a reputable, experienced, and knowledgeable well drilling and pump company? Look no further than Interstate Drilling and Pump. Interstate Drilling and Pump drills new wells, deepens existing wells, installs and repairs pumps, and does well testing both for water quality and gallons per minute. Interstate Drilling and Pump has 24-plus years of experience and serves from Moscow to Rathdrum and the Silver Valley. Well, what are you waiting for? Get on their schedule today. That's Interstate Drilling and Pump, 208-245-5101. 208-245-5101, Interstate Drilling and Pump.
Yeah, we are back as the captains get ready to head to the midfield stripe out onto the Lakeland Hawk painted on the 50-yard line. And looks like the Lumberjacks captains today. We've got Jack Barta and Brock Barta. And I think that's number 58. I think it's Russell Brousseau. And number 77 of Kyle Smith. For the Hawks, I see a number 36, which I don't have on my roster. I did bring I think I kept their roster and brought it with me that I did print off just so I could hopefully find some of these guys. See if I can find that roster. It is a JV team, so you do never know what's going to happen with their roster. Number 55, McWaters. Gage McWaters is out there as one of the captains. Number 35, another one I don't have. And 84 is Terry Taylor. And again, let me see if I can find, I know I printed that off and brought it with me. There. So I don't see a 36 on the roster that was sent to me. And the other one was a 35. So because they have home and away numbers on these rosters, but 35 could be Owen Chatney, if that name rings a bell to anybody listening in St. Mary's. He is listed as number 35 on the away jersey, but I don't know that that's actually him. So in any case, it's always the interesting thing when you have a JV team you're playing early season as well. Numbers may not get brought to you or given to you exactly accurate. Looks like the officials are still going over. Nope, they did the coin toss. It would appear that Lakeland won the toss, and they are going to defer the opening kickoff. So St. Mary's will, I think, receive the opening kick, and the Lakeland Hawks will kick from left to right on your radio dial. I think they're going to, well, they may not do starting lineups tonight. This is considered a JV game for Lakeland, and it's a varsity game for St. Mary's. And we don't typically do for JV games lineups, so they may not do starters. So we'll wing this one as we get going through about who's going to be kicking off and receiving and all those things.
You're listening to the home of Lumberjack Sports, 1240 KOFE, St. Mary's.
And we got both, I think, the kickoff and return teams for each side huddled up with their coaches. And we might get underway about 3 minutes early. Looks like the kicker is going to be number 44, which I'll double check. I thought that was who threw the ball to the ref, but no, it is not. It is. Once he turns his back to where I can see his number. Looks like number 10, which again, don't have a number 10 on the Lakeland roster. So I'll do the best I can with Lakeland. I do apologize to our listeners, but that's the way it goes sometimes with these JV rosters. I was really hoping that wouldn't be the case, but going back to the Lumberjacks, it does appear that we will have Caden Morris, Brock Barda, and it looks like number 1. I didn't think Chris Rousseau was a return man, but he hasn't turned to where I can get a full look at his number. The kick will be fielded at about the 20. Breaking to the outside is Morris, and he's got blockers in front of him. St. Mary's nope, they aren't going to return it for a touchdown, but they get it into Lakeland territory on a big return. They take it all the way down to the Lakeland 35. So a good kick return by Morris to get things started for the Lumberjacks. And that's actually going to be marked at the 40-yard line for Lakeland. First and 10 for St. Mary's. They'll bring out 2 receivers to the near side, 1 receiver to the top of the formation. Actually, it's 3 receivers to the near side. Barda in the shotgun. Takes the snap, going to look to throw. Out into the flat, caught by Brock Barda. He's going to take it to about the original line of scrimmage. We'll call it no gain on the play. Second and 10 for the Lumberjacks from the Lakeland 40. Coming into the backfield for St. Mary's. Looks like it's still Aiden Year out. 1 receiver near side, 1 to the far side. Barda takes a snap, hands it to Year out. Year out, a little cut back there, but he's going to get, he flings forward and gets back to the line of scrimmage. Again, no gain for the Lumberjacks. Some pretty good defense from that Lakeland front line. So it'll be 3rd and 10 for St. Mary's. Lumberjacks had a good kick return. Let's see if they can move that ball forward a little bit here. Give themselves a better chance on 4th down. They come out with a 5-receiver look, 2 to the near side, 3 to the top. Barta in the empty backfield. Year out motions towards him. He's going to fake the handoff to Year out. Going to look to throw across the middle. Little bit of early contact there, but and the late flag does come in. So we're going to call it an incomplete pass from Barta to Barta. And we'll get a penalty against Lakeland for pass interference. I believe it's a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down. Well, I don't think it's an automatic first down in high school, but the yardage gained will make it a first down. So the Lumberjacks 1st and 10 up to the Lakeland 25-yard line. Three receivers set this time, 2 to the top, 1 to the bottom. Barta looks to throw, looks over the middle, caught by Brock. Brock is going to carry it to the 5 and across the 5 to about the 4 before being brought down. Lumberjacks 1st and goal. And mark that ball down to the 2. First and goal from the 2 for the Lumberjacks. Year out in the backfield. Looks like pistol formation for Barta. Barta takes the snap, hands off to Year out. Year out powers forward into the end zone. And let's see, they're going to give the Lumberjacks the touchdown. And St. Mary's will strike first as Aiden Year out gets his first touchdown as a senior for the Lumberjacks. Lumberjacks this year do have an extra point kicker, but it looks like they're going to go for 2. Well, no, they do have the kicking tee out there. The kicker for St. Mary's is Grayson DeLong. He is a senior. Lumberjacks offensive line, special teams guys will shift. Snap, hold, kick is up, right down the middle. And the Lumberjacks will add the extra point on, and St. Mary's goes up 7-0 here in the first quarter of play over the Lakeland Hawks. We've got a 7-0 game, 10-10 to go, first period. Lumberjacks lead. We'll be back.
Tax time is here again. I know, it's not your favorite. But at H&R Block, tax time is our favorite time of year. It's when our tax pros get to do what they love the most, help people. By getting to know you, they can make sure your return gets done right. It's not just about numbers, boxes, and forms. It's about personal care, so you get every credit and deduction you deserve. And with an average of 10 years experience, our tax pros get your taxes done right. Just one of the many ways Block has your back.
And we are back. Kicking off for the Lumberjacks will be the exchange student from Italy, Santiago Prenzato. He is a senior. Watched him kick a little bit in practice the other day. He's got a pretty good leg. Can't tell the numbers for who's back deep for Lakeland. Kick is off. Nice deep kick down the middle. It'll be picked up at about the 14. Brought to the near side. Tackle made by Year out. The returner was 67. I think there was somebody else in there to help Year out with the tackle, but so Lakeland will start with 1st and 10 on their own 35-yard line. Trying to see quarterback for Lakeland. It looks like number 7, Tatum Bly, who's a freshman. One receiver to each side of the formation. Going to hand it off in the backfield. And it's going to be brought down by, the runner is going to be brought down by Mitchell for a loss. I'm not sure who ran the ball. Not sure who the running back was for Lakeland on that one. Brings up second 11 for the Hawks. One receiver each side of the formation. Two running backs in the backfield lined up behind the quarterback. And actually, the quarterback, maybe I'm wrong on the number, it's 15. It's going to be another handoff. Going to pick up a couple of yards. Number 36 on the carry. Didn't see who made that tackle. Didn't see who made that tackle for the Lumberjacks. They're down at about 8 for Lakeland. Lakeland at their own 37-yard line. Two receivers near side, two to the top of the formation. The quarterback takes the snap. He's going to look to throw. He's going to look into the flat. It's going to be caught, but he's just short of the line to gain. It was caught by the number 4, which I don't have a number 4 on my roster. It was number 7, Tatum Bly, with the completion. They picked up 7. Again, I didn't see who made that tackle for the Lumberjacks. Got to get back into the flow of things here. Lakeland showing they're going for it. One receiver to the top, one to the bottom. Quarterback under center. And something went wrong with the snap there. The quarterback is going to fall with it, and I think it's going to be no good. St. Mary's is going to take it over on downs. So the Lumberjacks defense holds strong. I'm not sure if it was a fumble or a turnover on downs. Lumberjack did come out of the pile with the ball, but St. Mary's will take over. 1st and 10 for the Lumberjacks from the Lakeland 44. St. Mary's brings one receiver to the near side. That's DeLong. 3 receivers to the near side. DeLong, DeGravio, and Barta. One receiver to the top of the formation. Low snap to Barta. He's going to pump fake one way. Looks deep. He's got a man open. That's DeLong. DeLong makes the catch, jukes out a defender, and heads into the end zone. And it's a touchdown for St. Mary's. Lumberjacks go up 13-0 here in the early goings against the Lakeland Hawks. 7:46 to go in the first period. Lumberjacks in there saying that same look they used last time for their extra point attempt. Now they shift. DeLong, also the extra point kicker. DeLong gets his first touchdown as a Lumberjack. Oh, that one he kind of missed hit, and that one will be no good. So the score remains 13-0 in favor of the Lumberjacks. 7:46 to go in the first period of play. We'll take a break and come back with the kickoff.
Janelle Martin Holmes, your Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's, is a proud Lumberjack supporter because they're her hometown team. When it comes to insurance, that's also one reason so many people in St. Mary's choose Farm Bureau insurance. They have a complete line of insurance products, including auto, home, commercial, and life. Plus, they have great customer service and competitive rates. And they're also a local company with local agents right here in St. Mary's. So let's hear it for our hometown teams. Contact Janelle Martin Holmes, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's at 105 North 8th Street, St. Mary's.
And we are back as the number 24, Prinzato, will kick off for the Lumberjacks. Low deep kick. Be picked up at the 16 and then tripping up at about the 17 was the number, get a number here, number 84. Number 84 for the Lakeland Hawks. and they will take over on their own 17-yard line. 1st and 10 for Lakeland. Lakeland kind of doing two different guys at quarterback, it seems like right now. It's the number 7 of Bly. Under center, takes a snap. Ball is on the ground. I think it's still loose. And coming out of the bottom of the pile is the number 65 of Cody Mitchell with the fumble recovery. Lumberjacks will have it. 1st and 10 on the Lakeland 17 after the Lakeland JV turnover. A little bit of trouble there with the handoff from Bly to the running back. So Lumberjacks send out their offense. DeLong to the near, or is that DeLong to the near side? Going to take the snap, hand off to Year Out. Year Out finds a little bit of a hole. Is going to carry that up to about the 5-yard line. Nice strong run by Year Out. About a 12-yard pickup. St. Mary's back to the line of scrimmage. One receiver near side, one to the far side. Year Out in the backfield, fakes the handoff. Barta's going to roll out. There's a flag. Going to look to throw it into the end zone. It's caught by Brock Barta. But there is a penalty. If it was a false start on St. Mary's, it would have been waved off. So I think it's going to go against Lakeland because it was offsides, I believe, by Lakeland. And I guess I won't even put that in there because it doesn't have a thing for declining the penalty. So St. Mary's scores on the Barta to Barta connection. St. Mary's they're going to kick the extra point. 19-0. St. Mary's leads early in the first period of play. Low snap. Oh, going to do a little fakery there. DeLong's going to throw it, and he finds a man in the end zone. And that is, I think it's Brock Barta with the extra point. 2-point conversion good. The scoring player was Brock. And Lumberjacks get back the 2 points that they lost. There's no penalty. St. Mary's is up 21-0, 7-11 to go in the first period of play. And there's a little bit of talk going on over there, but they did put 21 up on the scoreboard. So the score does count. I'm not sure what they were talking about. Anyway, St. Mary's leads at 21-0. We are still just about midway through the first period of play.
You're listening to the home of Lumberjack Sports, 1240 KOFE, St. Mary's.
And Prinzato lines up the Lumberjacks for the kickoff. Looks like I've got a number 6. I'm not sure. Again, numbers-wise, they're kind of hard to say. It might be Gilmore, but that Gilmore's listed as an offensive lineman and defensive lineman, so that's probably not him. Nice kick by Prinzato. Bounces across the 10. All the way. Ooh, the player's going to pick it up at the 5. That's the number 67. He's going to take it to the opposite side of the field, find some room to run, and he's going to finally be brought down. I think it was Caden Morris with the tackle. And it was Gilmore. Picks that ball up at the 5 and takes that to the 25-yard line. So I believe the tackle was made by Caden Morris. So it could have been disastrous for Lakeland. Gets them out into a decent spot. That ball looked like it might have gone out of bounds as well. But the player picked it up. Gilmore picked it up, right? It looked like it was about to bounce out of bounds. 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the top. Quick throw out into the flat near side. Caught. Immediately wrapped up and brought down, though, by the number 6 of Jackson Harold, the receiver, the number 84 of Taylor. Didn't quite see who the quarterback was on that one. Go with Bly. Lost a yard. And snap. Going to get a throw out into the flat again. Oh, gets to past that one defender. But there to clean it up is Brock Barta. Going to pick up a few yards. The receiver was number 17, Asher. It'll be 3rd and 7 for the Hawks. Near hash mark. They have 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the top of the formation. Bly in the shotgun. Lumberjack showing some pressure. Snap. Going to look to throw. Looking deep to the far side of the field. And it's going to be broken up by the number, I believe, is that 15? No, that wouldn't be Gustav. I think that's Nathan George. I think George is wearing number 15. And again, that's his first goof on our roster. So it'll bring up 4th and 7 for the Lakeland Hawks. They are on their own. Oh, wait, we got a penalty. Forget. Oh, I can. So let's see here. There was a penalty. There was a penalty that gave them at least a 10-yard gain. It was on the 43. There's a deep pass caught. And that was completed to Tatum. Tatum to, again, I'm not sure who made that catch for the Hawks, but they are all the way to the Lumberjack 28-yard line. So nice pass for Lakeland. 1st and 10 for the Hawks. They are now in Lumberjack territory, first time of the evening. 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the top. Shotgun formation. Bly with the snap, throws over the middle. Incomplete, intended for the number 4, and I don't have him on my roster. Looking over the middle for that pass play. Brings up 2nd and 10 from the Lumberjack 28-yard line. 4:45 to go first quarter. 21-0 Lumberjacks lead the Lakeland Hawks JV squad here in Lakeland. So Lakeland in their huddle. St. Mary's defense ready to go. 2 receivers coming to the near side for the Hawks. 1 to the top of the formation. Quarterback in the shotgun. That's Bly. Running back flank to his left. He's looking to throw. Scrambles up the middle. Gets away from a Lumberjack. Has some room to run. Will pick up the first down. And he'll smartly run out of bounds, as I think it's Nathan George was pressuring him. But it's going to be a 15-yard gain or so. Bly with the carry. Takes that ball down to Lumberjack 12-yard line. 16-yard gain. Gives the Hawks 1st and 10 from the Lumberjack 12. 2 receivers near side, 2 to the top of the formation. Bly in the shotgun. Going to take the snap, looks to throw, finds his receiver over the middle, and he'll be tackled in the middle by Harold after about a 4-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 6 from the Lumberjack 8. And we're going to get a time out taken by the Lumberjacks. With 4:15 to go in the first quarter, St. Mary's lead at 21-0 over the Lakeland Hawks. Lakeland is threatening, though, and we'll take a quick break during the timeout.
Like most backseat drivers, I'm all about safety. Got potholes.
Got it.
So Les Schwab Tires makes my job easy. With surfaces like brakes, steering, and alignment. Those cheap tire centers just throw on tires, and that's it. Now, I'm not telling people how to do their job, Linker. I'm just glad Les Schwab takes safety as seriously as me.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab tires. Doing the right thing since 1952.
It's in Park, right?
Archie's IGA is not only a proud supporter of Lumberjack sports, but a proud supporter of the St. Mary's community and shopping locally. When you shop local, you help businesses support other local businesses, as well as helping your local businesses to provide jobs. Did you know that local business taxes help maintain communities and counties by fixing roads and maintaining recreational facilities? Local business owners invest in the community and have a vested interest in the future of our communities. So won't you help Archie's IGA by supporting your local businesses and shop locally? Oh yeah, and let's not forget those lumberjacks.
Yeah, we're back after the St. Mary's time out. We've got 4:15 to go first period. St. Mary's leads at 21-0. Lakeland knocking on the door, though, down to the Lumberjack 8. 3 receiver set, handoff up the middle. That was the number 36 taking the carry. Going to be brought down by a whole host of Lumberjacks. I think Amato Stewart might have been one of them. He picked up about 4. And again, Amato Stewart picks number 0, and there's not a number 0 in the huddle statistics, so it's kind of hard to put him down in the stats when he doesn't have a spot. So we'll just leave it at that. I always edit stats later on, so everything is close to accurate. And a timeout taken by Lakeland, with it being 3rd and 6. Well, it's 3rd and 5. I might have given a little bit too much credit on that last play for Lakeland. So 3rd and 5 on the Lumberjack 6-yard line. Lakeland comes out after a really brief meeting with their head coach. They have 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the top of the formation. This is going to be 4-down territory for Lakeland. Fly in the pistol, takes a snap, quick throw out into the flat, caught into the end zone, touchdown. Asher, that was Asher Colson. So Lakeland, late in the first period, gets on the board. They trail 21-6 to the Lumberjacks. The long was in coverage. He had pretty good coverage. Pretty good throw, though, by Bly. Number 10 is the kicker for Lakeland. Again, I don't have a 10 on the roster that they gave me, so I don't know who it is. The hold is down. The kick is up, and it is good, I do believe. No, they say it's no good. Well, it looked good. Looked right down the middle, but of course we're kind of in a different angle, so couldn't tell. Anyways, Lakeland gets on the board. 21-6, Lumberjacks lead. Lakeland will be kicking off. There's 4:03 to go in the first period. We'll be back.
If you want the best, you hire the best. Top Grade Roofing and Construction has over 25 years of experience and is licensed and insured. Top Grade Roofing and Construction can and will build just about anything. Need a deck? They can do it. Need siding? Yep. How about a fence? Of course. I mean, Top Grade Roofing and Construction might even build you a chicken coop if you ask. That's Top Grade Roofing and Construction. Call Vince for a free consultation at 208-269-3111. That's 208-269-3111. Top Grade Roofing and Construction.
Hughes. And we are back. 4:03 to go in the first period. Lumberjacks lead at 21-6. Lakeland just gets on the board with a touchdown of their own. They will be kicking off as the Lumberjacks have their guys deep. Caden Morris, Brock Barta, and the deep man is the number 1 of Chris Brousseau. I don't think Chris Brousseau is actually back there to be a returner. I think he's there more so to try to get ahead of the returners and be an extra blocker right there in front of them. So see what Lakeland does here. They had a quick meeting with their coach before this kickoff attempt. So are they going to try a little onside action here, or are they going to kick it deep? Number 10 approaches the ball. Kick is off, kind of a little squib kick. And it's to be fielded at the 39, picked up by Stewart. And again, I don't have a number 0 on the roster. So he picked that up at the 39-yard line. And took it to the 44-yard line. And Lumberjacks start 1st and 10 on the left side of that field. Lumberjacks once again going right to left on your radio dial. 2 receivers. Going to be a handoff to Year Out. Year Out's going to be met in the backfield as that play got blown up. Loss of about 3. LJ Howell on the play for Lakeland. 3-yard loss for St. Mary's. Up the middle. Brings up 2nd 31 from the Lumberjack 40, or 2nd and 13 from the Lumberjack 41. 1 receiver near side, 3 to the top of the formation. Empty backfield for Barta. Takes the snap, looks to throw. He's got cover, protection. Finds his receiver. Completed, I believe, to Jackson Harold. Picks up about 5. Brings up 3rd and 8 for the Lumberjacks, up to the own 46-yard line. 2 receivers to one side, to the bottom. Oh, there's going to be a penalty on St. Mary's. First mistake by the Lumberjacks. A 5-yard penalty. Repeat the last down. So it'll be 3rd and 13 for St. Mary's. First penalty of the game for the Lumberjacks. Or no, that's the 2nd penalty. 1 penalty on defense, 1 penalty on offense for the Lumberjacks. St. Mary's breaks the huddle. 3rd and 13 now on their own 41. 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the top of the formation. Barta in the pistol. You're out, I think, flanked out with him. Nope, it's Morris. Going to flip it out to Barta. Safe play in the backfield. Barta will catch it, take it up to the 45. And St. Mary's will be 4th down and 9. It's actually at about the 44. More than likely, I would expect, I don't know. I would expect St. Mary's to punt it, but again, this is early season, and you got a lead, so, you could take a chance. You trust your defense. 3 receivers to the top, 1, 2 to the bottom. Barta empty backfield. He's in the shotgun. Barta takes a snap, looks to throw, and it looks like somebody left early for the Lumberjacks. So they'll move it back to 4th and 14. Let's see if St. Mary's offense stays out there. See if they decide to still go for it, even though they're kind of deep in their own side of the field. I mean, you do have a little lead, but honestly, if you give the ball back up to Lakeland on this side of the field, then you give them a chance to punch it in. Barta to take the snap. Oh, it's going to be a little pooch punt. It's blocked, and Barta's going to jump on it. It'll be at the 30, and that's where Lakeland will take over. The Lakeland ball on the Lumberjack 30. Good field positioning for Lakeland. Lakeland brings out 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side. Bly takes the snap, drops back, and a flag comes in. The play is whistled dead. That's a sign of possibly unless it's unimpeded to the quarterback, but I think they're whistling it dead. They didn't blow it dead earlier for Offside one was against St. Mary's. No, it's going to be a false start penalty against the Hawks. So the Hawks will march it back 5 yards. 1st and 15, back to about the 35-yard line. So both offenses, a few miscues. 2 receivers at the top, 2 to the bottom for the Hawks. 1 running back in the backfield, split to the right side of Tatum. He's going to drop back to throw. Pressure coming. Going to get almost picked off as it was right through the hands of Nathan George. Incomplete. George, the sophomore, had a pretty good showing in about 4 games, 3 to 4 games at the end of the season on the varsity side last year. Stood out enough to earn himself a varsity starting spot this year. He sticks with it. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with. He could really be a lockdown corner as he progresses through his high school career. 2 receivers to the near, 2 to the top. 2nd and 15, quick snap, throw into the flat. It's caught, but immediately wrapped up by the number 6 of Harold and Barta, and a couple of yard gain. Pick up about 4. Third and 11 at their Lumberjack 31. 3 receivers to the top for Lakeland, 1 to the bottom. Tatum Bly in the pistol. Ball on the ground. He's able to scoop it up, and he's not going to go anywhere with it. Going to consider that a sack, and it's going to go. I'm going to credit it to Kyle Smith for now. Loss of about 3. Brings up 4th and 14 for the Lakeland Hawks. And Lakeland showing punt. Try to pin the Lumberjacks deep. Pretty nice punt. Back deep is Barta. Calls for the fair catch. It's going to go over his head into the end zone for a touchback. Didn't see who kicked that for Lakeland. So that should bring the ball out to the 20. So St. Mary's will start 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line. 19 seconds to go, first quarter of action. Lumberjacks lead the Hawks 21-6 here in Lakeland. Lakeland JV taking on the Lumberjacks. 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the top of the formation. Barta in the pistol, looks to throw, drops back, going to be flushed out of the pocket, scrambles, is going to try to pick up some yardage, and he is going to do so. Picks up about maybe 3. Or are they going to say, no, they're going to say no gain, actually. So it'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Lumberjacks. Lakeland got a little bit of pressure into the backfield. Jack was able to escape it for a minute, just couldn't get it cut upfield to gain anything positive out of the carry. And equipment issue or something with Jack Barta. So the Lumberjacks have to bring in their backup quarterback. I believe it's Hunter Brown, or it might be DeLong. Actually, I think it's DeLong. No, it's number 12. I'll figure out who that is in a minute. Get a handoff to Year Out. Year Out. Find some room to the edge, but he'll be tackled at about the 20. So it was Brown. Doesn't matter because it was a handoff to Year Out. I think he might have got back to the line of scrimmage, but that was about it. 3rd and 10 for the Lumberjacks on their own 20-yard line. And we've got the end of the first quarter, so teams will switch sides. And we'll take a quick break. 21-6, Lumberjacks lead the Hawks.
Today's Hardware wants to invite you to come in and take a look. Hughes isn't just about hardware. Whether you need dish soap and sponges to clean up after your husband's guys' night or storage solutions for your wife's shopping addiction, you can find it at Hughes. Come see the difference. Everything you need, from a blow dryer to replace the one your toddler dropped in the toilet to a bathroom scale to help your hubby stay on his fitness goals. Hughes Ace Hardware is a place to get the products you need and the help you want all the time, every time.
And we are back. I was actually going to take a longer break there, I think, but I forgot what I was doing there. Anyway, St. Mary's will switch ends. Lumberjacks now going left to right on your radio dial. Lights are on here at Corbett Field and Lakeland High School as your Lumberjacks taking on the Lakeland Hawk JV squad. St. Mary's at 3rd and 10. Lumberjacks had a few very productive first 3 possessions. They haven't done much the last 2. Going to get a snap, the throw. Finally, Marcus Speakman. Marcus open down the sideline. He's going to outrun his defender. He's high-stepping it down to the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Lumberjacks. That was a big catch and run by Speakman. That was a 80-yard scamper by Marcus, the junior. The defense, I think somebody lost track of their who they were supposed to be covering there, because Marcus ended up wide open as the defenders were all kind of moving forward like they were looking for a screenplay. And St. Mary's was able to break that one all the way down the field. DeLong will kick off. Barta to hold. Or not kick off. We'll go for the extra point. 1 for 2 tonight. That one is up. And good. With DeLong now 2 for 3 on extra points. And Lumberjacks lead 28-6, early second period of play here from Lakeland High School. We'll take a break and come back with the Lumberjack kickoff.
Hugh and Margie Gannon of St. Mary's are proud to support the Lumberjacks and this Lumberjack sports broadcast. The Gannons want to wish the Lumberjacks the best of luck this sports season and want you to know that they are proud of you. The Gannons say, "Go Lumberjacks!"
You always hear on the radio, cross the bridge to savings, but it's true. St. Mary's Harvest Foods has what you need when you need it. And if you don't see it, then just ask one of the friendly staff and they will gladly help you find what you need. From meat, super fresh produce, and dairy, St. Mary's Harvest Foods will save you big on the things you need the most. No time to cook tonight? Then check out the hot deli for something quick for dinner. St. Mary's Harvest Foods, where you truly can cross the bridge to savings.
Granzato to kick off. Nice deep kick to the 15. It'll roll all the way down and stop at about the 7. It's going to be picked up. And he's trying to get some room around the outside. He's actually getting around a couple of Lumberjacks. He's got some room to run. And he'll finally be tackled at the 25. So St. Mary's, again, could have had something there. But another big return for Lakeland. That'll be returned up to the 27. 28-yard line. That'll be where Lakeland starts their next drive. They trail 28-6 to the Lumberjacks. Early second period. 1 receiver to the bottom, 2 to the top of the formation. The snap. Gonna get a little shoulder shake. St. Mary's gets some pressure in the backfield. Bly escapes it, and he's going to go down. There's gonna be a late hit. So Bly will get the run. He picks up about 4. We'll tack on a penalty on St. Mary's for late hit. I think it'll be a 15-yard penalty. Personal foul. Automatic first down. Got to remember that once that quarterback gives himself up, you can't hit him. That'll move the ball up to the Lakeland Hawk 46-yard line. And the Hawks up to the line of scrimmage. 2 to the near side, 2 to the top of the formation. Quarterback in the shotgun, handoff. Running back's going to shed Amato for a minute, carry him, and get a few yards out of it. Running back was number 25. Going to get that across to about the Lumberjack 48-yard line. 6-yard pickup up the middle. I know Amato was, again, Amato being double zero. There's number 0. There's no 0 in the huddle stats program. It'll be second down and about 4 for the Hawks on the Lumberjack 48-yard line. 1 receiver top, 1 bottom. A couple of running backs in the backfield. Fly goes under center, takes the snap, hands it off. First man through. Carried by number 25. And he'll pick up the first down. The ball going to be marked at the 42 of St. Mary's. First and 10 for the Lakeland Hawks. As they march down the field right now. 28-6. Good little drive going. St. Mary's leading 10 minutes to go first half. 1 receiver near side, 1 to the top of the formation. Quarterback under center. Hands it off again. Running game is working a little bit for him. Amato Stewart and 56. Amato Stewart and William Durham on the tackle. Or was 50. It might have been 50. I'm going to give that to Brousseau. Of course, Durham is a senior as well. It's just hard to tell on the number 58, number 56 numbers on the jerseys. 2 receivers near side, 1 to the top of the formation. 2nd and 8 for the Hawks. They are at their Lumberjack 40. Back into the pistol. Taking the snap is Bly. Pressured. He's going to escape up the middle. Getting a scramble with it. Going to take a big hit from Brock Barta. And Barta will take him down after a gain of about 7. Brought down by counterpart number 7, Brock Barta. Second or 3rd and 2 to go for the Hawks at the 34 of St. Mary's. Short yardage situation. 2 receivers near side, 2 to the top of the formation. Take the snap, hand it off. Going to dodge through a little bit of traffic, and making the tackle for St. Mary's is Speakman, but they will pick up a first down. The ball will be marked at the 29-yard line. 5-yard pickup. Credit Marcus Speakman with the tackle. Well, first and 10 for the Hawks as they continue their march down the field. Going to get a timeout taken by the Lumberjacks once again. 8:03 to go in the half. 28-6. Lumberjacks lead the Lakeland Hawks. Lakeland on the move, though. We'll be back.
Jack Fuel Trucking knows that there are few things as important as wise use of our natural resources. And by utilizing the chips in the manufacturing of lumber, that is exactly what is accomplished. If you look beyond the wood chips, you see an entire community of schools, churches, and businesses. And most importantly, people. Jack Fuel Trucking believes in the responsible harvesting of our natural resources. After all, when you take a close look, those aren't just chips. They're an entire community. Jack Fuel Trucking.
Sometimes accidents happen. You never thought it would happen to you, but it did. Where can you turn for that friendly hand of support? Jack's Pharmacy is your good neighbor pharmacy in St. Mary's, where you'll find personalized care. Whether you need crutches, supports, wheelchairs, or even a hospital bed, Jack's is here for you. We service both Medicare and Medicaid. If you need durable medical equipment.
And we're back. Have to finish that break up in a minute. Go handoff near side for Lakeland. Carry by number 25. He'll pick up a few yards, get tackled by DeGravio. About a 3-yard pickup is what we'll call it. Ball on the 27-yard line. 2nd and 8 for the Hawks. One receiver to the top, one to the bottom. I formation in the backfield. Quarterback under center. The snap, the handoff. No, going to roll out for the pass. The handoff faked the offense or the defense. The pass is incomplete across the middle, intended for the number 88 of Griggs. The play action worked pretty nice for Lakeland. Lumberjack bid on that play action. Had 3 defenders that actually bid in on the running back because Lakeland's had some pretty good success running the ball the last couple of plays. And the quarterback rolled out to his right and just couldn't connect with his tight end. He was fairly well covered. Would have been a short gain, hopefully with probably a pretty quick tackle by St. Mary's, but still a pretty good play by Lakeland if they could have connected. 3 to the top of the formation, 1 to the bottom for the wide receivers. Back into the pistol. Bly has his running back flanked to his left, takes the snap. Going to look to throw. That's a little bit of pressure coming on him. He's trying to juke and get out of trouble. St. Mary's still pursuing. They're going to find an open receiver as the coverage breaks down in the scramble drill, and it'll be caught all the way down into the inside the 10. That was the number 10 with the catch. I didn't pay attention to who made the tackle for St. Mary's. And they will be all the way down to the 7-yard line. Pick up a 20 yards for the Hawks. 1st and goal from the Lumberjacks 7. 3 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom. 1 running back flanking the quarterback. They're going to hand it off to him. He's going to take it up the middle. First man on him looks like Kyle Smith. And he's going to take that, I think, inside the 5. I think he got that down to the 4. No, that looks like they're going to mark it right at the 5. And for now, we'll credit Kyle Smith with the tackle. There's a host of Lumberjacks in there. 2nd and goal to go from about the 4-yard line. Lakeland knocking on the door. 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the top of the formation. Bly in the pistol, running back flanking him to the left. He splits out his wide receiver a little bit further on the top. Going to take the snap, looks to throw. And batted away at the last second. Good coverage there by Amato Stewart. Looks like we have a player coming off the field for Lakeland, holding his shoulder. Hopefully he's all right. So number 72, I'm assuming of Colton Almas. And looks like the only number 72 on the roster. So 3rd and goal for the Hawks. 4 down territory as they are at the Lumberjack 4. And now we're going to get a timeout taken by Lakeland. 28-6, Lumberjacks lead. 5:45 to go here in Lakeland. The St. Mary's takes on the Lakeland JV Hawks. We'll be back.
Come to Jack's, your good neighbor pharmacy, where you'll receive personalized service and attention.
Mitchell Excavation in Fernwood is a proud supporter of Lumberjack sports. For all of your road building, site preparation needs, call Mitchell Excavation, 208-245-1160. Whether ditch digging for plumbing and electrical or home site preparation, Mitchell Excavation is the place to call. That's Mitchell Excavation in Fernwood, 208-245-1160. Mitchell Excavation says, go Lumberjacks!
And we are back. A quick thank you to all of our Lumberjack Sports broadcast sponsors. We do still have room to add more sponsors, so if you would like to get on our broadcast, get in touch with us, and we will get you on the air with us. 1 receiver to the near side, 1 to the top of the formation. Bly under center, takes the snap, hands it off, and he'll be met in the backfield, number 25. We'll give the credit to Amato Stewart on the tackle for loss. And, of course, once again, I'll have to edit that in later because I don't have a number 0 in stuff for huddle. 5.5 to go. 4th and goal from the 5-yard line. Lakeland changed up their personnel. See what they decide to do here. I mean, if they have a kicker, they could kick the field goal, but I think they're going to go for it. Just changing up their personnel a little bit. 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the top of the formation. In the pistol is Bly. Running back split to the left or the right. Take a snap. He's going to look to throw. Works his way to the left side. Going to throw it to the corner of the end zone. Out of bounds and incomplete. Just overthrew his intended receiver just a little bit. So the Lumberjacks will take over 1st and 10. They'll be back deep, though. They are on their own 5-yard line as they get the offense and defenses switched up. Lumberjacks lead 28-6 with 4:44 to go in the half here at Corbett Field in Lakeland High School in Rathdrum, Idaho. So many different names there. Corbett Field, Lakeland High School, and Rathdrum, Idaho. Next week, again, Lumberjacks on the road. They'll be going to take on Salmon at Missoula, in Missoula. Don't forget our senior spotlight coming up at the half, featuring Caden Morris. The snap going to be a handoff up the middle, shaking a couple of defenders, powering up to about the 10. Was Caden Morris. I believe it's his first run of the day. Got a 5-yard pickup up the middle. Gives the Lumberjacks 2nd and 5 from the 10. 1 receiver to the near side, 1 to the top of the formation. Morris in the backfield. Arda in the pistol. Takes the snap, hands off again to Morris. No, he's going to keep it, rolls out to the near side, gets the pass complete. Going to get a flag. Might be a hold against St. Mary's. That was Amato Stewart with the pass catch. I think the ball will be up at the just go to the 20. There was a penalty. Might go against St. Mary's. And I believe it will. Probably a hold. Half the distance to the goal line. Pete the last down. I think I have all that correct. So it's still 1st and 10. Well, it's 1st and 10 now. I think it was 2nd and 5. So thankfully that penalty didn't hurt him a whole lot. 2nd and wasn't on that. It wasn't the 1st down. So 2nd and 10. They get a snap. Barta rolls, looks to throw, finds the number 11 of DeGravio, and that ball got knocked loose and goes out of bounds. But I think it'll stay with the Lumberjacks. Is it an incomplete pass or is it? Well, I'm pretty sure it was caught. He got a few yards out of that, but then the ball rolled backwards. So it's going to be marked like 13-yard line. The Lumberjack 5. Third and I don't think it's 25 yards, but 3rd and about 13. Going to get a deep, intended for, I believe it was Amato Stewart. And he was wide open. The ball went right through his hands. And it's incomplete. Amato put his hands to his head after that. He was wide open on the other side of the defense. Brings up 4th and it says 10 on the scoreboard, but it's not. It's 4th and about 13. And it's from about the, not even the 5. Yeah, no, it's the 2-yard line. We'll put it as the 3. St. Mary's shows going for it, but they do a pooch punt out of this. So, no, they are going to go for it. 4th down, looking for Jack Barta, and it'll be incomplete. Good coverage by the Lakeland secondary that time. And it'll be first and goal for Lakeland as they take over on downs. It was a good look, good coverage. So St. Mary's backed up against their own goal line on defense. (28-6), Lumberjacks lead the Hawks. 2:52 to go in the first half. Senior spotlight coming up at the start of halftime will feature Caden Morris. 2 receivers top, 1 bottom. Bly in the actually 2 receivers near side. They were missing 1. Bly in the pistol, I believe. Running back lined up to his right. Take snap, hand it off to the running back. He's going to find his way into the end zone for a Lakeland touchdown. Nice run by the Hawks as they'll punch it in and make the score 28-12 in favor of St. Mary's. .246 to go before halftime. Lakeland breaks the huddle. Up to the line of scrimmage. Looks like they'll go for 2. 2 receivers near side, 1, 2 to the top of the formation. Running back flanking to the left of the quarterback. Bly takes the snap. Looks to throw. He's got an open man, and the catch is made by number 4 for Lakeland. So the Hawks, that says that was not an extra point. That was two-pointer. Good. So the score is 14. 28-14. Lakeland cuts the lead in half. Here late in the first half. Once again, 2:46 to go before the halftime. 28-14, St. Mary's lead. Lumberjacks will return the kick, of course. Morris and Barta waiting at about the 20-yard line. Brousseau at the 10. Again, I don't really think Brousseau is there as a return guy. Lakeland kind of doing something a little bit different with the ball. They look like they've got it set kind of sideways on the tee, so St. Mary's needs to be paying attention to that. Look for that onside kick as Lakeland looks like they're going to try to steal a possession away from the Lumberjacks. Kick is off. No, it's going to be deep. It'll be fielded at the 20 by Barta. Barta breaks to the outside. Going to run out of bounds at about the 34. See if that's where they mark it. First and 10 for St. Mary's at the 34-yard line of St. Mary's. Ball on the left hash mark. St. Mary's has 2 minutes and 40 seconds to make it. March down the field. I think they've got 1 timeout left. They lead at 28-14. 1 receiver to the near side, 1 to the top. Barta goes under center. No, he's in the pistol. Takes the snap. Fakes the handoff. Rolls. Has some pressure. Rolls the opposite direction, directing traffic. Little pump fake. And I don't know if he got out of bounds. I think he might have made it to the line of scrimmage. We have an injured player for the Hawks in the middle of the field. So with 2:29 to go in the first half, 28-14, St. Mary's lead. We'll take a quick break.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Idaho. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
And the injured player for Lakeland gets up. He's headed off the field. Hopefully it's just kind of a stinger or something, a bruise, as he makes his way to the Lakeland bench. Second 11 for the Lumberjacks on their own 32. Three receivers near side, one to the top of the formation. Barta in the shotgun, takes the snap, looks to throw, rolls to the near side. Going to throw it into the flat, complete to the number 2 of DeLong for about a 3-yard pickup. Oh, that was more yards than that, actually. That's going to be all the way up to the probably a 5-yard gain or so. Ball is marked on the 38 of St. Mary's. 3rd and 5. The snap, going to be a quick throw out into the flat, a little bit of a screen there. Barta gets around the edge, and I think he may have just gotten the first down, as it was Jack Barta to Brock Barta. See where they mark it. Is it short or is it first? Oh, what are they doing? They're bringing that ball back quite a ways. Didn't see there is a flag on the play. Penalty against the Lumberjacks. That's going to be a holding call. The ball will be back to the Lumberjack 28 or so yard line. 3rd and about 15. Lumberjack short a player, getting a guy in there. Coming out is, I think, Chuck Kloos or Charlie Kloos. 2 receivers near side, 2 going to the top of the formation, 3 to the top of the formation. Barta, empty backfield, takes the snap. Quick throw into the flat and a little bit too wide of his intended receiver. Brings up 4th and 15 for St. Mary's. They might bring out Gentry this time. The Hooch punt didn't work the first time, and then they went for it on that other time. Well, that wasn't Gentry. That was Cody Mitchell, I seen coming in. We'll see what St. Mary's does here. 4th and 15 from their own 27. They show offense. 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the top of the formation. You're out in the backfield. Barta going to throw it. Looking deep. Caught, but out of bounds by Brock Barta. So good try there. Just let him a little too far out of bounds. The Lumberjacks will turn the ball over on downs. 1st and 10 for the Lakeland Hawks on the Lumberjack 27-yard line. That's where Lakeland will take over with 1:01 to go in the first period, or in the first half. St. Mary's leads at 28-14. After a flurry of scoring, though, in the first quarter, St. Mary's only scored 1 other touchdown since then. Lakeland has put 2 on the board. They've cut this score in half. Lakeland has had some pretty good run game going. 2 receivers near side, 2 to the top of the formation. Bly in the shotgun. And he's flanked to the right by his running back. Snap. Going to look to throw. Flushed out of the pocket. And going to be brought down and sacked by the number 11 of DeGravio for St. Mary's. Going to get about a 3-yard loss. Actually, it was a 4-yard loss. Going to be a quick pass, incomplete. Brings up 3rd and about 14 from the Lumberjack 32 for Lakeland. 37 seconds on the clock. That stopped the clock. The incomplete pass did, so Lakeland doesn't have to hurry as fast. Up the line of scrimmage, 1 receiver near side. 3 to the top of the formation. Bly in the shotgun, has his running back flanked to the left. The Snapped low. It's going to get behind him. He's able to scoop it up, but now he's got to try to do something with it, and he's not going to be able. No, he gets out of the grasp of Cody Mitchell, but he will not get out of the grasp of Aiden Yearout. So we'll call that a sack, even though it was more of a bad snap. And it's going to be all the way back to the 39. Loss of yardage. Give that to Aiden Yearout. And he didn't get out of bounds. The clock will run. I think they'll let it run out of time. So going into the half, St. Mary's leads at 28-14 over the Lakeland Hawk JV squad. We'll take a break. We'll come back with our senior spotlight that features Caden Morris.
Afraid to touch that breaker box? Need some rewiring done? Call the professionals at M&S Electric. With nearly 40 years experience, there's no job too big or too small. From industrial and commercial to residential and service work, M&S Electric isn't afraid. Serving Bennewash, Shoshone, Kootenai, and Latah counties, M&S Electric has you covered. Overhead work? M&S can do that too with their bucket truck. M&S Electric, 408 Main Avenue, St. Mary's. Give them a call, 208-245-3890. No job too big, no job too small. We do them all. M&S Electric.
For all of your area high school sports schedules, updates, and recaps, including Lakeside, Kootenai, and of course, St. Mary's High School, pick up your copy of the St. Mary's Gazette Record every Wednesday. Not only will they have game recaps and highlights for area high school sports action, but local news and information. St. Mary's Gazette Record pickup copy today. The name says it all. Taco Bout It. What is it, you may ask? It's the best taco truck in town. Might even be the only taco truck in town. If you like tacos, and who doesn't, then you need to stop by Taco Bout It, located at 128 South Highway 3 in St. Mary's, across the street from XXX Feeds. Taco Bout It has too many tacos to list, so you will just have to try them all. Call in your order 208-582-8533, or just stop by. Taco Bout It, located across the street from XXX Feeds in St. Mary's. When you need that morning pick-me-up before work or school, there's one place that comes to mind. It's a place that loves our community, the St. Mary's Lumberjacks, and all the local businesses and people in our village. Shift and Grind in St. Mary's is all about the community. Whether it's helping raise money for the Booster Club or for a family in need, the Shift and Grind family are always ready to help. So be sure to stop by Shift and Grind for your caffeinated needs. Located at 132 First Street in St. Mary's, Shift and Grind says, go Lumberjack!
If you know which side of a saw cuts wood, and if you can hammer a nail, you can do it yourself. Carpentry, construction, finishing, or framing, around here, you've got it made. You've got 10th Street Lumber. At 10th Street Lumber, we have the answers to your building and repair project questions. Every day, 10th Street Lumber helps homeowners get quality results. For lumber, blocks, power tools, fixtures, everything you need for a professional job. Don't pick up a nail until you shop 10th Street Lumber. 10th Street Lumber on the corner of 10th and Railroad Avenue in St. Mary's.
And it's time now for our senior spotlight. Now, our senior that we have on tonight with us is Lumberjack senior Caden Morris. Thanks for talking with us, Caden.
Yep.
Let's get on with the show. What sports do you play?
Football and baseball.
I heard you say you might be thinking of something, maybe wrestling this year, but you know.
That is a possibility.
I didn't tell Coach Humphrey that, though. That way he's not bugging you.
Well, he already has been.
So which sport is your favorite and why?
Football. I just like to contact football.
Like to hit people?
Yep.
What has playing sports taught you?
It's helped me with all my friendships and just making me a better person with who I am and the coaches.
What is your favorite thing about playing football?
Just probably being out on the field with all of my friends.
And what would you say is your least favorite?
The late nights, getting home late.
Do you have a favorite pro sports team and a player?
Probably the Seahawks and Cam Chancellor, number 31.
That's a good one. What are your goals this year on and off the field?
Just be the best that I can. Same way as both on and off the field.
Just
just be the best and hopefully see where everything plays out for your senior year, huh?
Yep.
All right. Well, he's given us some simple answers today. We'll come back after a quick break and have some more with our senior spotlight with Caden Morris.
Wondering how to manage your retirement nest egg? How big should it be when you retire? Contact Jenny Oaks at Gateway Financial Partners to get the answers to these and all your other financial questions. The securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC. With over 30 years of financial planning, give Jenny Oaks a call at Gateway Financial Partners today. The guidance is free. The experience is priceless. Call 245-5255. Fall is coming and, of course, cold weather. Now's the time to stock up on a few things. XXX Feeds has magnetic wood pellets in stock, and it's never too early to be ready for the cold weather. XXX Feeds also has alfalfa in stock as well as straw. And if you have some four-legged woodland friends that look a little hungry, XXX Feeds can keep you loaded up on deer feed and deer blocks. Don't wait until the last minute. Stop by XXX Feed in St. Mary's today.
And we are back. We're speaking with Caden Morris for our senior spotlight. What are your plans after high school, Caden?
I'm kind of still hanging on the wall with that one. I'm not sure. Maybe college.
Maybe. What is your favorite subject?
Honestly, probably math.
Math. I wasn't expecting that from you. You seem more like the guy that'd be like, shop class or something.
Nope. I like math.
Do you have anybody that you look up to?
My dad.
Your dad?
Yep.
That's usually the answer that I not look for, but sometimes I don't get that answer. So, do your teammates have a nickname for you?
No, not really.
Can't believe it.
Different every day. Different. If there is one.
Some of them may not be appropriate to mention on the air.
For sure.
I know teenagers.
Yep.
What's been your most memorable moment so far?
The big fight we had last year at football season. Streets River, I believe.
That was definitely memorable. Not something you want to have happen, but something you remember. Anybody you'd like to thank?
Jim, of course, for having me here.
Your coaches, your family. I mean,
of course, all of my coaches.
All right. Well, I think that's all the questions we have for you, Caden. We want to wish you good luck your senior year and beyond.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Yep.
That was our senior spotlight. We'll take another break and be back with more after this.
It's the kid in grade school who paints their face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
What makes high school sports here in Idaho so special? They do. You do.
We all do.
This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
St. Joe Oil isn't just a fuel delivery company. They provide a much larger service than most people realize. St. Joe Oil can sell you a brand new Toyo oil stove and install it for you, and also keep your oil tank full. Not only that, St. Joe Oil plays a very critical role in our local industries. From logging to farming, St. Joe Oil keeps the fuel tanks full. From heating oil to off-road diesel and everything in between, call St. Joe Oil 208-245-2123. That's 208-245-2123. St. Joe Oil.
And we are back. It is halftime. The Lumberjacks lead the Lakeland Hawk JV 28-14 here at Corbett Field in Rathdrum, Idaho at Lakeland High School. And, well, just kind of like we had last year, the huddle program is kind of definitely different when it comes to the stats and the players and everything else. We've really got to figure that out. Hopefully we can get things dialed in. Anyways, taking a quick look, the Lumberjacks have 9 first downs in the first half. The Lakeland JV, 12 first downs. St. Mary's hasn't been able to get the ground game going very well yet tonight. They're 8 carries for 15 yards. Lakeland a little bit better. They've got 16 carries for 59 yards. St. Mary's just averaging 2 yards per carry, while Lakeland had about 3.74 yards per carry. Passing, St. Mary's 8 of 16. The Hawks, 8 of 14. St. Mary's has 166 total passing yards, averaging 10 yards per reception, I guess. The Hawks with 73 yards on the first half, 5.2 is their average. Lumberjacks with a total of, well, it claims St. Mary's has 166 yards total yardage, and that's just what they've got from passing. So maybe they've had some negative plays that have taken away a little bit, but it does show they have 15 yards rushing. So again, huddle is confusing sometimes with their stats program. The Hawks, 33 plays and 132 yards of total offense. Average per play, St. Mary's about 7, Lakeland about 4. The Hawks have 1 turnover. St. Mary's has not turned the ball over. Third down conversions, 1 of 7 for St. Mary's, not where you want to see your third down conversions. Lakeland 5 of 8. Both teams 0 for 3 on fourth down conversions. St. Mary's has not been sacked yet. Lumberjacks recorded 3 sacks for negative 14 yards against the Hawks, and neither team has kicked the field goal. Individual stats, we have Jack Barta, 8 of 16. It says 151 yards passing. Marcus Speakman with 1 catch for 80 yards that resulted in a touchdown. The number 2 of DeLong has 2 catches for 49 yards. Brock Barta has 4 catches for 32. And Jackson Harold, 1 catch for 5. Aiden Yearout with 5 rushes for just 11 yards. Caden Morris with 1 rush for 5. Barta had a scramble, a couple of scrambles really, where he has lost 1 yard. And we're not going to really look defensively because it's just not really 100% accurate anyway as far as tackles and stuff. But that kind of just sums it up. St. Mary's, they had 3 quick possessions in the first quarter, got out to a 21-0 lead over Lakeland. And Lakeland went down, scored, got the score to, I believe it was 21-6. St. Mary's answered back with a quick score from Marcus Speakman on that 80-yard connection from Barta. And they got their 2-point conversion, made it 28, or the extra point made it 28-14, or 28-6. Lakeland then answered back with a drive of their own. The score and the 2-point conversion cut this lead in half. And that's where we sit. St. Mary's leads 28-14. The Hawks will get the first possession of the second half when we return.
St. Mary's Realty is a St. Mary's icon. Why? Because they are a team. They work for you. And they've been a team for many years. Whether you are buying your first home, looking for a recreational cabin, or selling your current home, St. Mary's Realty puts their team on it for you. So stop in or give them a call today at 245-4502 and let their team be your team. That's St. Mary's Realty at 726 Main Avenue, St. Mary's.
Riverbend Car Wash and Laundromat, located next to Harvest Foods in St. Mary's. Open 24 hours, we have washers and dryers of all sizes to get your laundry done quickly. If you'd like to get your laundry done in less than 5 minutes, take advantage of our drop-off laundry service where we wash, dry, and fold it for you. While you do your laundry, be sure to take advantage of our touchless automatic car wash, which has that great undercarriage spray to get the grime off. Riverbend Car Wash and Laundromat can be found at riverbendbubbles.com or call 208-582-4844.
Whistle Stop Coffee and more.
And we are back as we get set to start the second half of action. St. Mary's will be kicking left to right to get things going. Prenzado will kick off for the Lumberjacks. That kick will roll all the way down to about the 11 before it's picked up. And short return. And an injured player for the Hawks. See where that ball is going to be marked. Looks like the ball will be marked at the 21 of Lakeland. The injured player gets up. It's a very warm night tonight, so there could be some cramping going on. So the Lakeland Hawks will take over, 1st and 10 on their own 22-yard line. 2 receivers near side, 2 to the top of the formation. Quarterback in the ball is on the ground. Ball is still loose, and diving on it for the Lumberjacks is Speakman, and that should be a fumble recovery for the Lumberjacks. Fumble recovered by the Lumberjacks. St. Mary's. St. Mary's will have the ball 1st and 10 at the Lakeland 22. 1 receiver to each side. Going to have a handoff. Looks like Year Out. Year Out breaks it to the outside. He's going to head to the corner of the end zone, and he'll walk in for the Lumberjack touchdown. So Lumberjacks get the benefit of the gift of the fumble. And Aiden Year Out strikes again, his 2nd touchdown of the night. 34-14, St. Mary stretches to a 20-point lead, pending the extra point. Florida will be the holder. DeLong to kick the extra point. Snap, the hold, the kick. And it looks good, and it is. So DeLong, 3 for 4 on extra point. St. Mary's leads 35-14. Early 3rd period, 3rd quarter. We'll be back.
Or has come a long way from the little shop on Railroad Avenue. How far? Not only did they upgrade their Railroad Avenue location, they added a 2nd location. That 2nd location for Whistle Stop Coffee and More is on 313 St. Joe River Road. Both locations offer tasty drinks of coffee, Red Bull, or Lotus Energy, and food options, from acai bowls to cookies and delicious bagel sandwiches. Whistle Stop Coffee and More is the perfect stop for a quick bite and a drink on your way to work or school. Whistle Stop Coffee and More in St. Mary's.
And we are back as Lumberjacks will get ready to kick off. Again, it's Prinzato with the kickoff. Kick deep down the middle. Fielded at the 17. Lakeland up the middle. Brought it across the 31-yard line. And that's where Lakeland will take over. 1st and 10, and I believe the 31 of Lakeland. St. Mary's leads at 35-14 here in the 3rd quarter. Two receivers near side, 2 to the top of the formation. Quarterback in the pistol, flanked to the right by his running back. Bad snap. He's going to look to escape. He's going to get the throw away. There's nobody there. Was a receiver. He kind of overthrew. I don't think they're going to throw a grounding there as he overthrew the receiver. Not sure who's quarterbacking right now for Lakeland. I'm pretty sure they changed their quarterback. I keep forgetting to catch his number. So it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Hawks. I think the quarterback is 15, which I don't have on the roster that we've got. 2 receivers near, 2 to the top. Going to be a handoff. That's a big man they handed that ball to. They're going to say he was down. The ball does come out, but that was number 86. Again, I don't have him. Let's take a look on the roster. gain of, looks like 2 yards. They're going to say 3rd and 8. So the Hawks come out with a three receiver to the top, 1 receiver to the bottom set. Quarterback, we've got DeGravio trying to time up that snap, I think, and I see defensive coordinator Josh Richmond now on the other sideline holding his hands out, kind of like, what were you doing there? Gave Lakeland a free 5 yards. 3rd and 3 for Lakeland. The snap, the quarterback drops it. He's going to get it picked up. Now he's going to get the pass off. It's incomplete. Had heat coming on him. The number 10 almost had that pulled in, but couldn't quite make the catch. Incomplete brings up 4th and 3 for the Hawks. Lumberjacks got to watch the hard count here. Lakeland does look like they show punt. Snap. We get the punt away. Going to take a nice roll for Lakeland down to about the 16-yard line. And that's where St. Mary's will take over. 1st and 10 on their own 16. 10:32 to go first half, I got behind there. 1st and 10 to go 3rd quarter. 10:32 to go in the 3rd. 35-14. St. Mary's leads the Hawks. St. Mary's brings out a 2-receiver set. Barta pistol, takes the snap, low snap. Going to get a penalty flag. Maybe an offsides on Lakeland. Ball carrier was the 31. That is Morris. And actually, I think the penalty. I think St. Mary's will take the penalty because they'll get 5 yards out of it. And it'll still be first down. Oh, substitution penalty. Still 5 yards. 1st and 5 for the Lumberjacks. Take the snap, hand off to, I believe, Morris. Morris runs head on into Lakeland defender in the hole. And the ball is out, but I think the refs are blowing it dead. Big play inside by 6. No gain. Lumberjacks have not been able to, maybe a yard. St. Mary's has not been able to really get much going in the ground game. 2nd and 4 for St. Mary's at their own 23. 1 receiver to each side. Pistol formation for Barta. Going to get a Lakeland, I think, to jump. And it very well could be an automatic first down. So it will be a first down on the 5-yard penalty. The Lumberjacks 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Same formation, 1 receiver to each side. Barta in the pistol. Running back lined up behind him. Low snap, gets it, rolls out, looks to throw. Still looking, trying to find some room. Has some blocks. He's going to try to juke out the defender. Shakes one down the sideline and ran out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Nice run by Barta on the scramble. 1st and 10 for the Lumberjacks on the 17-yard scramble. And actually, it was a little bit more than that because it's going to be up to the 47-yard line. About a 19-yard pickup. 1st and 10 for the Lumberjacks. Up to their own 47. 3 receivers at the top, 1 at the bottom.
Hand off to Morris. Morris runs into his blocker, stumbles forward for about 4 yards, maybe 5. About a 4-yard pickup up the middle. Brings up 2nd and 6 for the Lumberjacks. Scoreboard says 2nd and 7. Ball is right at the 50. 3 receivers to the bottom this time for the Lumberjacks. 1 receiver to the top. Barta has his running back flank to the left. Gets the snap. Oh, and we have a flag and a whistle, and we get a false start on the Jacks. So St. Mary's will move it back 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 11 now. Little personnel change there. Amato Stewart comes into the game. DeLong goes out. Amato almost had a big catch earlier in the game. 1 receiver to the near side, got 1 to the top of the formation. Everybody else in tight. Barta in the pistol. Running back lined up behind him, takes the snap, takes the handoff. Free rusher, but he finds Stewart. And Stewart will make the catch for a nice pickup, about 8 yards. And I don't have an Amato Stewart. I mean, we don't have a... That was more than a 2-yard pickup. "47-yard line. Head fake by Barta. Looks to throw. He's going to go to his man. Nice catch going up over the defender by Brock Barta. And the Lumberjacks have a first down. That was a beautiful catch by Brock down to the Lakeland 46-yard line. That's a 36-yard line. St. Mary's quickly to the line of scrimmage, 1 near side, 2 to the top, low snap, hands off to Year out, sheds 1 tackler, powers forward, picks up, it looks like about 6 yards. Looks like they have a Lumberjack down. Helmet is off. We'll see who it is. And we'll see where they mark the ball. Take a quick break.
Does your furry friend need a bath? Don't want to deal with the hassle and the mess from bathing your furry friend? Make an appointment with Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop today. Barks and Bubbles, located at 402 North 10th Street in St. Mary's, will have your furry friend looking and feeling like $1 million in no time. And guess what? No mess at home, no scratches, and no getting soaked from head to toe. Let Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop handle the work. Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop also offers pet boarding. Call for an appointment today at 208-245-5755. That's 208-245-5755. Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop in St. Mary's.
And we are back. It was Aiden Yearout that was the player down for the Lumberjacks. The way they went out and got him up pretty quickly and got him to the sideline, I'm hoping it's just a cramp. Again, it's warm out here today, and you've got to really hydrate to avoid those cramps. So hopefully it's just a cramping issue. And actually, I think I see him over there trying to stretch out on the sideline. Lumberjacks bring out 2 receivers near side, 2 to the top of the formation, 2nd and 2. Going to throw the ball into the flat to Brock Barta. The completion is made. Barta breaks it to the outside. Little stutter step there. Takes it all the way down to about the 10. An 18-yard pickup. And they will spot it right at the 10. So 1st and 10 for St. Mary's. So 1st and goal at the 10-yard line. Looks like they might, no first down opportunity. 2 to the near side, 2 to the top of the formation. Barta takes snap, little shoulder shake. He's going to head to the outside. Looks like it might have been a designed quarterback keeper. He's not going to get much there as he heads to the far side of the field. Picks up maybe 1.5 yards, 2 yards. We'll call it a 3-yard pickup, actually. Second goal from the 7-yard line. 6:05 to go in the third. 35-14 St. Mary's leads. One receiver to each side. Barta in the pistol. Takes the snap. Going to hand it off. No, fakes it to Morris. Rolls to the near side. Looks to throw. Across the middle. He's going to be picked off at the end zone. The interception made by the number 86. And the first interception of the season for Barta. And I don't know who the interception was made by. So the first turnover for the Lumberjacks. And wait and see where they mark this. I haven't seen them mark the ball yet. But got a couple of officials talking still. Actually, it looks like it's going to be the 9-yard line. So it'll be Lakeland's ball, 1st and 10 at their own 9. See if St. Mary's defense can stand up and make a stop here deep on the Lakeland side of the field. 2 receivers top, 2 receivers bottom. Pistol formation for the quarterback. Going to hand it off. A little bit of a hole opens up. Some nice running. He's going to come out of another tackle. Finally brought down by Brock Barta. But a nice run by the number 81. And another maybe cramp on the Lumberjack side. That'll be all the way to the 20-yard line. 11-yard pickup up the middle, tackled by Brock Barta. Another player down for St. Mary's. We'll take a quick break as they check them out.
It's not just saving. It's preparing your kids for college, owning your tomorrow, and saying yes to that home, trip, or the next chapter. At P1FCU, we believe saving should work as hard as you do because every dollar you set aside is a step toward freedom. We're not just your credit union, we're your future's biggest fan. Explore better banking with P1FCU. Learn more at p1fcu.org. Insured by NCUA.
Kenny and the crew at 10th Street Superstop invite you into the biggest convenience store in town. 10th Street Superstop is your one-stop shop for gas, propane, snacks, and ice-cold drinks. Stop in for breakfast or lunch. Breakfast burritos and pizza to paninis and fajita burritos. 10th Street Superstop has something for everyone. Whether you're headed to a Lumberjack game or out into the woods, 10th Street Superstop is the place to stop for anything you may need. 10th Street Superstop on North 10th Street in St. Mary's.
Now we are back. Zach Soten was the player down for Lumberjacks. Again, I'm pretty sure we got some cramping going on. He gets over to the sideline. First and 10 still? Yeah, that was a first down for Lakeland. They're going to have a snap that's low. The running back's knee was down, so that's going to be a loss of yards. At a 6-yard loss. Second and 16, back to the 14-yard line after the bad snap. I think that was the running back that tried to scoop that ball up. He just made the mistake of putting his knee down to the ground when he touched the ball. So 2 receivers near side, 2 to the top. Quarterback in the pistol, running back flank to the side. Going to have a quick throw. It's going to be knocked down by Kyle Smith. Nice defensive play by Smith. Aiden, you're out back on the field. Looks like he's still kind of a little bit limpy out there. Those cramps can linger for a while. Brings up 3rd and 16 for the Lakeland Hawks. Lakeland breaks the huddle, 2 to the near side, 2 to the far side. Quarterback in the pistol, running back flank to the right. Snap. Gonna look to throw, looks over the middle, picked off by St. Mary's. And I believe that is Nathan George, the sophomore, getting his first pick of the season. The ball will be at the, well, I'm not sure where he picked it at. Let's say the 30. Returned it to the 25. And Lumberjacks have 1st and 10 deep in Lakeland territory. 3 to the top, 1 to the bottom. Going to get the snap a little bit low. Barta is able to scoop it up. Nobody to throw it to, so he's going to scramble up the middle. Slides down after about a 4-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 7 for the Lumberjacks. Up to the 22 of Lakeland. 1 receiver to each side of the formation. Barta in the pistol. Running back lined up behind him. Takes the snap. Hands it off. I believe it's Year Out. Year Out looking for an opening. Finds some room to run. He's going to carry that down to the 10. Nice run by Year Out. And I think Year Out again. A little cramping going on down there after the run. It'll be 1st and goal, I believe, for St. Mary's. As Year Out gets help to the sideline once again. It'll be 1st and goal from about the 9. Caden Morris will come in for Year Out. Oh, nope, maybe not. Morris goes back out. One receiver to each side for the Lumberjacks. Again, Barta in the pistol, running back behind him. Low snap, going to be scooped up. Pushing forward is Brousseau. That was Chris Brousseau with the run. Picks up a handful of yards. Well, maybe only 1 as he gets to about the 8-yard line. 2 yards. 2nd and goal on the 8-yard line for the Lumberjacks. Caden Morris now into the backfield. Barta in the pistol. 1 receiver each side of the formation. Snap. Going to be a handoff to Morris. Morris, little juke move up the middle. He's going to power his way down. It looks like he's going to be right at about the 1-yard line. Looks like they're actually going to mark it at about the 2. 6-yard gain up the middle for Caden Morris. Lumberjacks break the huddle. 3rd and goal from the 2. 1 receiver near side, 1 to the far side. 2 running backs this time in the backfield. Barta with a snap, keeps it. Little pitch action. Going to flip it out to the 7 of Brock, and Brock's going to, I don't know if he picked up anything on that. It might be back to the original line of scrimmage. I think there was no gain there. Let's see what St. Mary's does, because they do have their kicker. They can kick field goals. So let's see if they go to punch it in or if they bring out their field goal kicker, which he was out there for a second, but now he heads back to the sideline. And it looks like the Lumberjacks are opting to go for it instead. I would have given him the shot at making the field goal. 1 receiver to each side of the formation. Going to be the fake handoff. The throw incomplete to Stewart. Good defense by the Hawks. That'll turn the ball over back to Lakeland. Lakeland will be 1st and 10 on their own 2. I think St. Mary's is maybe doing that too because they want to maybe give their defense a chance to get a safety or something here. So we'll see what happens. St. Mary's probably going to bring some heat on this next possession for Lakeland. 1:09 to go in the third. 35-14. St. Mary's leads. First game of the season. We will pick a player, talk about it, player of the game at the end of the night. Kind of really hard to pick right now. I mean, nobody's super stood out offensively or defensively. We haven't had a lot go on that side of the ball. So we'll see what happens here tonight. 2 to the near side, 2 to the top of the 4 main. Oh no, this is 2 to each side for the Hawks. I thought St. Mary's on defense. Quarterback is going to scramble, looks to throw it deep. It's going to be incomplete. Back on coverage was Harold. Had a chance at maybe getting to that ball and picking it off, but it was just a little bit over his head. We'll bring up 2nd and 10 from the Lakeland 2-yard line. Lakeland makes some personnel changes. Bly comes in. Quarterback heads back with the play call. It looks like they're switching their quarterback back to Bly, possibly. They put the 15 at a wide receiver position. And, St. Mary's almost gets him in the end zone. Bly going to just get out of the end zone. And he'll be tackled by the 55 of Blaine Kusarek. Going to get the snap, looking to throw. Again, pressure in the backfield. And the incomplete pass. Nathan George in coverage. Brings up 4th down. And I believe Lakeland will punt the ball away here. Number 15 to punt it away. And again, don't have great roster for Lakeland. Sometimes it's tough with the JV. That's going to take a Lakeland roll to the 31. But it'll still be good starting field position for St. Mary's on this possession as they'll start on Lakeland's side of the field. St. Mary's leads at 35-14. We are 12 seconds to go in the third. St. Mary's will have the possession now. I think Lakeland trying to make sure they got all the right guys out there on defense. I don't think they've even placed the ball fully yet. They haven't set it down. Yard markers are still where they were at. So St. Mary's has to bring their ball out to the officials so that they can get it placed. And it looks like Barta has his favorite football, gets it to the official, and it is set. 1st and 10 for the Lumberjacks from the Lakeland 31-yard line. Once again, St. Mary's leads at 35-14 here in the third quarter. One receiver to each side. Barta in the pistol. Lined up behind him is, I think, Morris. He's going to hand it off to Morris. Morris finds a hole, breaks outside. He's going to pick up about 7 yards before being brought down. Nice hard run by Caden Morris. All the run up the middle. Should be second, about 3. Either a long 3 or 4 yards. That'll be the end of the third. Teams will switch ends. And the score is 35-14 in favor of the Lumberjacks. We'll be back with the fourth quarter of action from Lakeland High School after this.
When you think of Potlatch-Deltic, you might think logs or lumber. When I think about Potlatch-Deltic, I think of family, community, compassion. You see, Potlatch-Deltic is more than some company in St. Mary's. Potlatch-Deltic is a community supporter in more ways than one. Whether it's donating to a fundraiser or nonprofit group, or giving a high schooler a summer job that could very well turn into a career, Potlatch-Deltic is there for our community. We, for one, want to thank Potlatch-Deltic for what they do and hope that you will also. Potlatch-Deltic, proud supporters of, well, St. Mary's.
And we are back. It's been a pretty good game for the Lumberjacks opening night. They lead 35-14 going into the fourth quarter. St. Mary's will now go right to left on your radio dial as the teams will switch in. Don't forget, we not only have the games on the air live on 1240 a.m. in St. Mary's, but also on our YouTube channel. We share the links to our Facebook page every the day of the games. We get them all scheduled up and share it to the page. So if you happen to be out of reach of our signal, you can still pull the game up. Lakeland heads out defensively. It'll be 2nd and 4 according to the scoreboard for the Lumberjacks. On the Lakeland 25-yard line. Arda in the pistol. Caden Morris behind him, 2 receivers, 1 to each side. Going to take the snap, hand it off to Morris. Morris tries to do a little hop skip around the edge, and he does end up getting a few yards out of it. Blocking didn't open a big hole for him, but he still picks up 3 yards. Brings up 3rd and a yard to go. St. Mary's, from what I understand, is switching to a zone blocking scheme this year. This time, St. Mary's comes out with a 4-receiver set, 2 to each side. Barta, shotgun, hands it off to Morris. A little bit of a delay there, and Morris finds room to run across the 10. Morris is going to take that down to about the 9-yard line. Lumberjack running game starting to get something going on the running game side of things. And now we have a flag. The Lumberjacks are moving fast, and actually it looks like it's going to be offsides on Lakeland. Maybe half the distance to the goal. I think it'll be 1st and goal from about the 5 for the Lumberjacks. They have 2 receivers set, 1 to each side of the formation. Arda in the pistol. Low snap, scoops it up, breaks it out to the near side, has some blocking, little stiff arm action. He'll take it down to about, to the 5-yard line. So really no gain. Brings up 2nd and goal for the Lumberjacks from about the 5. We'll change of personnel there. Coming in, that looked like it was Harold and DeLong. St. Mary's maybe going to spread them out a little bit with the receivers. 2 receivers each side for St. Mary's. Barta back into the shotgun. Morris flanking his left side. He's going to hand it off to Morris. Morris finds a hole, lowers his shoulder, carries it down to about the 1-yard line. So it's 3rd and 1 from the 3rd and goal from the 1. Snap again, low snap. Jack's going to keep it. Gets the pass out to Harold, but Harold might lose a yard on the complete pass. So it'll bring up 4th and goal from the 1 for St. Mary's. Lumberjack's going to go for it. 2 receivers to the top of the formation. 2 receivers to the bottom. Barta in the shotgun. Morris flanking him. Low snap. Going to get the handoff to Morris. Morris into the end zone. Little short yardage run there by Morris. He's able to take it across and get the touchdown for the Lumberjacks. That's Morris's first touchdown of his senior year. Stretches that lead out to 41. What did I just have happen here? Oh, it says, I gotta get this right. Lumberjack's going to kick the extra point here. DeLong, the kicker. The holder, Barta. Gets the snap. The kick is up. And that one is a little bit wide. No good. And I'm not getting my extra point attempt here for that. Anyways, the score is 41-14. St. Mary's leads. 9:14 to go in the fourth. We'll be back.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Idaho. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the IHSAA and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
There we go. St. Mary's will kick off from the 40. Brinzato will kick off for the Lumberjacks. That one's going to be kind of a low kick. That one will go out of bounds at the 32. Penalty on the Lumberjacks. And let's see if they make them re-kick it. They're throwing, well, it's St. Mary's kicking ball, so they got to get that back to the St. Mary's side. Trying to see where they're going to spot the ball here. Oh, no. Poor camera girl for the Lumberjacks is having a heck of a time with a piece of equipment that's got a suction cup that's supposed to be stuck to the outside of the window and it's probably fallen off about 20 times tonight. The ball is at 35 of Lakeland. Got to get this set real quick. We need to throw across the middle, incomplete. Didn't see who threw that pass for Lakeland. They've been changing the quarterbacks up a little bit. Bly has been back in. So the incomplete pass, 2nd and 10. Lakeland at their own 36. Lakeland breaks huddle. They've got 2 receivers to each side of the formation. Bly in the shotgun. Running back flanking to the right. Going to take the snap. Looks to throw across the middle. Batted down by DeGravio. Incomplete. Lumberjacks making some mass substitutions on the defense. There's about 4 or 5 guys going off. Brings up 3rd and 10 for Lakeland at their own 35-yard line. St. Mary's once again leads 41-14, 9:06 to go in the fourth. Lumberjacks throwing a 3-man front this time. 3 receivers to 1 to the top, 1 to the bottom. Quarterback in the shotgun takes the snap, looks to throw into the flat. It's caught. He's trying to shed his tacklers. He does. He'll head down that far sideline, and he'll finally be tackled on the Lumberjack side of the field. Nice catch and run. Catch was made by number 4. Again, I don't have a number 4 on the roster. So Lakeland will take that all the way to the Lumberjack 38, it looks like. 27-yard catch and run for the Lakeland Hawks. Brings up 1st and 10. They get a timeout taken by St. Mary's. 8:26 to go in the contest. 41-14, St. Mary's leads Lakeland on the Lumberjack side of the field. We'll be back.
Well, well, well. Are you in need of a reputable, experienced, and knowledgeable well drilling and pump company? Look no further than Interstate Drilling and Pump. Interstate Drilling and Pump drills new wells, deepens existing wells, installs and repairs pumps, and does well testing both for water quality and gallons per minute. Interstate Drilling and Pump has 24 plus years of experience and served from Moscow to Rathdrum and the Silver Valley. Well, what are you waiting for? Get on their schedule today. That's Interstate Drilling and Pump, 208-245-5101. 208-245-5101, Interstate Drilling and Pump.
Yeah, we are back. Thought about playing that other commercial there, but I think we are about to break the huddle. Looks like got a quarterback change again. Bly comes to the sideline, and it looks like number 15 is going to go out to the quarterback spot this time for the Lakeland Hawks. 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the top of the formation. Snap and a quick throw out into the flat. Pretty good play there. It's a little bit of a kind of a wide receiver screen, and it'll be up to the 25, tackled by Morris. We're going to place that ball on the 23-yard line of St. Mary's. Lakeland breaks the huddle, 1 to the near side, 3 receivers to the top. Quarterback in the shotgun, takes the snap, looks to throw. He's going to go to the end zone this time. Coverage. It looks like he might have caught it, but is he out of bounds with it? Nope, ball comes out at the end there. Nice throw by the number 15 for Lakeland. And a good effort there by the number 10 to try to bring that ball in. Again, the roster I got was not totally accurate. Some numbers have changed, so I don't have names for all of the Lakeland guys. I'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Hawks. Three receivers at the top of the formation, 1 to the bottom. Watch for that kind of screenplay again. Works pretty well. Shotgun snap. Going to take it. Looks to throw. Got some pressure. He avoids that. Looks to the end zone. Has a guy open. That's the number 36, and that's just a little bit over his head. Incomplete. Brings up 3rd and 10 for the Hawks. Lakeland has to somewhat abandon the run a little bit here just because of time constraints and the score. They want to score quick, so they're throwing the ball quite a bit. You got a little bit why St. Mary's maybe changed up their defensive front a little bit. They got a 3-man front, putting a few more guys in coverage. Now it looks like, still a 3-man front. 2 receivers top, 2 to the bottom. Quarterback in the shotgun, looks to throw. Going to be flush to the near side. He's going to get rid of it. 2 guys wide open, tipped away at the last second. That was the number 12 of Hunter Brown, playing some good defense on the defended pass. There was 2 guys open for Lakeland on that side of the field. Hunter Brown came across the end zone, was able to just get his fingers on it and knock that ball away. Brings up 4th and 10 for Lakeland at their Lumberjack 23. And now they switch taking a timeout is the Hawks. 7:29 to go. 41-14. St. Mary's leads it. We'll be back.
Tax time is here again. I know. It's not your favorite. But at H&R Block, tax time is our favorite time of year. It's when our tax pros get to do what they love the most, help people. By getting to know you, they can make sure your return gets done right. It's not just about numbers, boxes, and forms. It's about personal care, so you get every credit and deduction you deserve. And with an average of 10 years experience, our tax pros get your taxes done right. Just one of the many ways Block has your back.
And we are back again, fourth quarter action here from Lakeland High School. Friday Night Lights back on as the high school football season gets underway. Your Lumberjacks taking on the Lakeland Hawk JV squad. St. Mary's leads at 41-14, 7:29 to go in the fourth period. And Lakeland is at fourth. Oh, they're going to try a long field goal here. The number 10 for Lakeland will be the kicker. Bly will be holding. Everybody got quiet. The snap, the hold, the kick. Nice distance, but comes up a little bit short. And number 10 with the missed field goal for Lakeland. No return. St. Mary's will have the ball. I don't know where they marked that. I thought they marked it from where the kick took place, but it doesn't look. Looks like it's going to be marked at the 23 of St. Mary's. So Lumberjacks will have it 1st and 10 from their own 23-yard line. From what I understand, we might be a couple of receptions away from a record for one of the Lumberjack players, but it looks like we might have a different quarterback in. I see Jack Barta over on the sideline. So I think St. Mary's has put Hunter Brown in at quarterback. 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the top of the formation. Hunter will take the snap, hands it off to Morris. Morris cuts back, finds some room to run, gets away from another guy. He's got a blocker in front of him down the sideline. He's down to the 40, cuts back inside, has to break another tackle. He's going to almost get away from that guy, but he will be tackled all the way down at the Lakeland 16-yard line or so. A big run by a flag back at about the 31. So we'll see if it stands. I heard him say 1st down Lumberjacks, but we'll see. That was going to be all the way down to the, oh goodness, that was a big run. I think I said the 13 or 12-yard line. Might have been a penalty against Lakeland that was declined, I'm assuming. So it was a 67-yard run by Caden Morris. First big run of the game for the Lumberjacks. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 10. So 1st and goal from the 10. St. Mary's breaks huddle up to the line of scrimmage. 2 to the near side, 2 to the far side. Brown in the shotgun. Has his running back flanking him to the left. Going to hand it off to the running back. That's Brousseau. Brousseau tries to cut back. He's going to lose a yard, it looks like. They'll change up some personnel, bring in 3 new guys. Second and still says second and 12. So they're going to say about a 2-yard loss. So 2nd and goal from the 12 for the Lumberjacks. Brown in the pistol, running back lined up behind him. That's Brousseau. 2 receivers, going to fake the hand. Oh, he does hand it off to Brousseau. Brousseau is going to be caught in the backfield, though. Loss of about, I'm going to call it 3 that time. So it's 3rd and goal from the 16-yard line. Lumberjack taking a little bit of time off the clock, getting the play in, and taking a little bit of a breather. St. Mary's comes out with a 3-4 receiver set, 3 to the top, 1 to the bottom. Brown in the pistol. Rousseau lined up behind him.
Brown takes a snap, looks to throw. He's going to throw it across the middle. It's going to be incomplete, intended for DeGravio. Be 4th and 15. Now, as I think when the Lumberjacks should let, I think they are. I think they're going to bring out their kicking unit and see if they can't put a field goal through the board, through the uprights. So DeLong will get a chance. With Barta the holder. This kick will be from the 22-yard line. A 32-yard kick. Snap, the hold. And it's just a little short and a little bit off to the right, I believe, or left. And that's where the Hawks will take over. See where they marked it down. I think it'll be at the 16-yard line. Nope, it's going to be at the 20. So it'll be 1st and 10 from their own 20 for the Hawks. Lakeland trails 41-14 to the Lumberjacks with 5:14 to go in the contest. 2 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom. Different quarterback in once again. I think it's number 15. Bly lines up as a receiver. 3 to the top of the formation now. Going to look to throw, looking deep. And that's going to be, almost picked by Brown, but it's going to be incomplete. 2 Lumberjacks had a chance there. Brown and George. George had a chance at maybe getting his second pick of the night. Brings up 2nd and 10 for the Hawks. And they are at the 20-yard line. They've got the 16-yard line on the scoreboard. Lakeland making a few personnel changes. Number 15 for Lakeland still in at quarterback. 2 receivers to each side. Nope, 3 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom. Number 15, the quarterback in the shotgun. Running back flank to his right. Takes that. No, we got a flag. I think they're counting the offense. Maybe too many men on the field. Yeah, too many men on the field. I think it's a 5-yard penalty. So it should move them back 2nd and 15. No, it was against St. Mary's. Going to have a snap. The quarterback escapes the pocket. Takes it across the 30. Picks up a 1st down for the Hawks. Maybe St. Mary's had too many on the field. Maybe that was what it was. That'll take the ball up to the 33 of Lakeland. 1st and 10 for the Hawks. 3 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom. The quarterback takes the snap, hands it off. A big hole opens up the middle. It's going to be the 69 for St. Mary's, which is Porter, Riley Porter. And I believe the number 35 with the run for Lakeland. And we have another Lumberjack, I think, down on the field. I think that ball's going to be marked right at the 50. 17-yard gain up the middle. Let me check on the downed player. We'll take a quick break.
Janelle Martin Holmes, your Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's, is a proud Lumberjack supporter. because they're her hometown team. When it comes to insurance, that's also one reason so many people in St. Mary's choose Farm Bureau Insurance. They have a complete line of insurance products, including auto, home, commercial, and life, plus they have great customer service and competitive rates. And they're also a local company with local agents right here in St. Mary's. So let's hear it for our hometown teams. Contact Janelle Martin Holmes, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's at 105 North 8th Street, St. Mary's.
And we are back. The player that was down for Lumberjacks was able to get up and moving. Actually, that's Hunter Brown. So who's number 12? No, number 12 is Hunter 4. Caden Brown for the Lumberjacks. Looks like he jogged off the field fairly easily, so hopefully he's all right. I think there's a lot of cramping going on tonight. 3 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom. Quarterback in the shotgun. Takes the snap. That's number 15, rolls to the near side. He's pressured. He's going to throw it away. Incomplete. Good pressure from Lumberjack defense. Cody Mitchell getting in there to pressure the quarterback. Brings up 2nd and 10 for the Hawks from the 50-yard line. 41-14, St. Mary's leads here tonight. The Hawks break their huddle. Up the line of scrimmage they go. They've got 3 receivers at the top, 1 to the bottom. Shotgun formation. Snap, hand off. A little bit of room to run is the number 46, tackled by Porter, I believe, and getting in there as well, DeGravio. Picks up about 7. Lakeland back to the line of scrimmage. 3 receivers at the top, 1 to the bottom. The snap, looking to be a pass. Quarterback looks to find his guy as he's being flushed out of the pocket. Just overthrows his intended receiver. 4th and a long 2 for the Lakeland Hawks. Going back in with the play is number 15 for the Lakeland Hawks. They break the huddle. Up to the line of scrimmage they go. 1 receiver to the bottom, 3 to the top of the formation. Number 15 is in the shotgun, flanked to the left by his running back. Takes the snap, looks to throw. That's a pretty good pocket over the middle. And incomplete as he overthrows his receiver. And the ball will go over to the Lumberjacks on a turnover on downs with 3:47 to go in the game. See what St. Mary's does here. I know they came and asked me if there was anybody that was close to 7 catches. But apparently they've decided to not worry about that. As I'm not sure. Let's see who comes in. There's a whole bunch of guys going off and on right now. So Barta is still on the sideline. It looks like we're going to get the timeout taken by St. Mary's as they try to get things squared away on the offensive side of things. So we'll take a break as well. 3:47 to go. 41-14, St. Mary's leads. We'll be back.
Like most backseat drivers, I'm all about safety. Stat potholes.
Got it.
So Les Schwab Tires makes my job easy. With services like brakes, steering, and alignment. Those cheap tire centers just throw on tires, and that's it. Now, I'm not telling people how to do their job. Blinker. I'm just glad Les Schwab takes safety as seriously as me.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab Tires. Doing the right thing since 1952.
It's in Park, right?
Archie's IGA is not only a proud supporter of Lumberjack sports, but a proud supporter of the St. Mary's community and shopping locally. When you shop local, you help businesses support other local businesses, as well as helping your local businesses to provide jobs. Did you know that local business taxes help maintain communities and counties by fixing roads and maintaining recreational facilities. Local
got carried away there on that break. Let it run a little bit long. St. Mary's comes out with 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the top of the formation. Brown in the shotgun, takes a snap, hands it off, and it's handed off to number 44 for the Lumberjacks. That is Hammond. And looks like no gain on the carry. So 2nd and 10 for St. Mary's. Breaking the huddle up the line of scrimmage. 2 receivers near side, 2 to the top of the formation. Brown in the pistol, takes the snap, hands it off, no, keeps it. And he's going to come back to the middle of the field, but he's not going to have any room to run. He's going to lose about 4. Brings up 3rd and 14 for the Lumberjacks. St. Mary's back to the line of scrimmage. 2 receivers to the top, 2 receivers to the bottom. Brown in the shotgun, flanked by his running back, I believe Hammonds. I think they're letting the clock kind of tick this time. Snap, hand off. He gets out of 1 tackle. He'll power forward back to about the original line of scrimmage, does Hammonds. So it'll be 4th and 10. 4th and 10 at their own 43-yard line. St. Mary's huddled up, going to go for it here. Under 2 minutes to play. Stay with us at the conclusion for the talk about it player of the game. 2 receivers near side, 2 to the top of the formation. Brown in the shotgun, running back flanking him to the left. Takes the snap, drops back, looks to throw. He's going to go deep down the middle of the field, trying to come back for it. Was the receiver, and I forget, didn't quite see who their intended receiver was. The Lakeland almost intercepted it, but they drop it, so it's just an incomplete pass. Turnover on downs, the ball will go back to the Hawks with 1:35 to go in the contest. St. Mary's leads at 41-14. Lumberjacks break the huddle coming up, or not, they're not on offense. Lakeland breaks the huddle. They've got 3 receivers at the top. Looks like they've got 2 receivers top, 1 receiver to the bottom. Oh no, St. Mary's, wait a minute. Was there a penalty on that or something? St. Mary's had the ball. Interesting. That's been a penalty for against Lakeland. St. Mary's has the ball at the 40. Got a run play there that I missed. No gain. So it's 2nd and 10 for St. Mary's. I didn't see what happened there. I thought St. Mary's turned it over on downs. It's going to be a handoff to Hammonds again up the middle. Might have got back to the line of scrimmage. So 3rd and 10. And St. Mary's now going to just let the clock run out. So a little confusion there for me on that one play, because I could have swore it was a turnover on downs. But I don't know if they considered it. I don't know if it was couldn't have been a completion. Anyway, St. Mary's is going to come away with the win here on 0 week, night 1 for football action, 41-14 over the Lakeland Hawks. Next week, St. Mary's will be playing at Big Sky High School in Missoula, Montana. let's take a quick break, and then we'll look at the stats, and we'll come back and try to see if we can't figure out who to pick as our player of the game. Brought to you by Taco About It.
Business owners invest in the community and have a vested interest in the future of our community. So won't you help Archie's IGA by supporting your local businesses and shop locally? Oh yeah, and let's not forget those lumberjacks.
If you want the best, you hire the best. Top Grade Roofing and Construction has over 25 years of experience and is licensed and insured. Top Grade Roofing and Construction can and will build just about anything. Need a deck? They can do it. Need siding? Yep. How about a fence? Of course. I mean, Top Grade Roofing and Construction might even build you a chicken coop if you ask. That's Top Grade Roofing and Construction. Call Vince for a free consultation at 208-269-3111. That's 208-269-3111. Top Grade Roofing and Construction. Hughes Ace Hardware wants to invite you to come in and take a look. Hughes isn't just about hardware. Whether you need dish soap and sponges to clean up after your husband's guys' night or storage solutions for your wife's shopping addiction, you can find it at Hughes. Come see the difference. Everything you need from a blow dryer to replace the one your toddler dropped in the toilet to a bathroom scale to help your hubby stay on his fitness goals. Hughes Ace Hardware is the place to get the products you need and the help you want all the time, every time. Hugh and Margie Gannon of St. Mary's are proud to support the Lumberjacks and this Lumberjack Sports broadcast. The Gannons want to wish the Lumberjacks the best of luck this sports season and want you to know that they are proud of you. The Gannons say, "Go Lumberjacks!"
And we are back, and we'll take a look at the stats here. St. Mary's comes away with a 41-14 win over the Lakeland Hawks, and got some stats for you guys here. Let's take a look at the rushing numbers first for St. Mary's, starting with Caden Morris. Kind of a slow start to the run game for St. Mary's in the first half. Caden Morris, though, had a good second half, 11 carries, 115 yards, and a touchdown, a long of 67. Year Out had 8 carries for 53 yards tonight. Barta had Jack Barta, 6 carries for 24, and that's the leading top guys on the rushing stats in the. This thing isn't. Where do I find my receiving stats? Okay, so now we go down to passing. I got to remember how to use Huddle again. So passing, Jack Barta was 12 of 22 for 188 yards. He had 3 touchdowns and 1 interception, had a long of 80 yards. Receiving, Marcus Speakman had 1 catch for 80 yards and a touchdown. Brock Barta had 5 catches for 50 yards and a touchdown. And the number 2, find my Lumberjack roster, DeLong had 2 catches for 49 yards for St. Mary's. And my defensive stats are all over the place right now because early season games, I always forget to pay attention as close to who makes a tackle. So we'll get those corrected later on tonight or tomorrow. But kind of made it a tough one to pick our Taco About It player of the game tonight. We could go with Jack Barta. We could go with Caden Morris. And I think we're going to lean to Caden Morris tonight. He was our senior spotlight and had a heck of a second half of action tonight. So our first Taco About It player of the game for the 25-26 football season goes to the senior Caden Morris. 11 attempts, 115 yards, and 1 touchdown, had a long of 67 yards. And I think that's about going to wrap it up for us here from Lakeland High School. Remember, St. Mary's on the road next Saturday. They'll head to Big Sky High School in Missoula, Montana to take on Salmon, and that'll be a pretty fun day. It's on a Saturday. Kickoff is going to be noon St. Mary's time. But that's going to wrap it up for us here. For KOFE Radio, I'm Tim Parrish. Have a great weekend.
Thank you for tuning in to another broadcast of high school sports on KOFE 1240 AM St. Mary's, your home for high school sports broadcast. We want to take a moment to thank our sports broadcast sponsors and hope that you'll do the same. Without them, this wouldn't be possible. Until next time, have a great rest of your day.
It's 9:29.